Okay, so let's start, right? So let's first start with the introduction of mine from my side, and let's go ahead and see the topic that today we're going to talk about, right? Now, in this, I'm not going to teach anything, right? So all my workshop, because few of my students have joined, I can see. So in all my previous workshop, you have seen, teaching or maybe covering some topic. But today we're going to talk about the major challenges that everyone is facing regarding applying for a job or maybe getting rejected or maybe giving interview. What are the points you should consider, and also how you should stay ahead of others, and how you should keep on learning, how you should target different companies, different data roles, different jobs, right? How you should stay motivated, and how you should keep on learning, right? That's the goal, because more you learn, more good opportunity you will have it, not maybe today, but maybe tomorrow, or maybe day after tomorrow, right? You never know. So let's start with the introductions. So I would request all of you to keep yourself on the mute. Whenever you have any doubt, you can share in the chat box. And I have one more screen on my, in my one more monitor. So where I will see the message and I will read it. Uh, Yeah, so we're going to start with the introduction. So my name is Nazir, and you may have joined from Instagram or maybe YouTube. So I run this channel, which is called Zero Analyst. I started this last 1 year, so it's been 1 year and a month. Talking about my experience, so I started working as a data analyst with Dell Technologies. So I worked there for 3 years, 8 months. Then I joined another company called LCI Group, where I worked there for 3 years and 2 month. Okay. So talking about my educations, I have done Bachelor of Business Administration. Then I have done Master in Operation Management. So my education is also not directly related to data, I would say, but more into business analysis, or you can say business and operations, right? But I started learning these tools and technology when I was completing graduations, because I knew it. If I don't learn the skills, so the opportunity is going to be less for me, right? So that is about me, and let's start, right? So I hope you can see my screen, right? And so let's start with the agenda. Let's see what are the topic we're going to talk about today. So first topic, these are the main major topic. Now this whole workshop is going to be into two part. One is for the people who already have experience, and one are those are the people, and those are the people who doesn't have any experience, maybe freshers, or they're learning, or maybe they're trying to switch from a different domain, or they have a different experience, right? So how you can showcase that, and how you can get into this domain, right? So we're going to talk about it. So the major challenge that, or you can say the most request that I receive from many of you maximum time, which is that not getting interview calls. So we're going to talk about it. How do you come over this not getting interview calls? If you're not getting interview calls, what are the reason? How you should find the reason, and how you should fix it so that you can get interview calls. Because if you get interview calls, then you will get the interview, right? You will give the interview, then maybe out of 10 or 20 or 15 interview, will be carrying one or two or three or job offers, maybe five or 10, right? Depending how you are performing. So this is the first problem that we're going to talk about. Then we're going to talk about, you may have seen, if you have applied for 100 plus jobs, you may have seen maximum time as soon as you apply for any job posting, you get a message call, we are moving with some other candidate. So that's indirectly telling you that your resume is not filtered. So that means they have selected someone else for the interview, not for the job, but for the interview. So that means there are some problem with your resume which you need to fix. Okay, so these are the two major topic. Then the third topic that is that we're going to talk about is that, let's say you got the interview call, and in the interview you're not able to solve the problems. Let's say they have given you case studies or maybe any problems, right? And you're not able to solve it. So again, whatever the reasons and how you should come over it. So we're also going to talk about it. Then I have also received multiple requests where you have cleared the technical round, which is this part, but you're not able to clear the managerial round. You're not able to talk about the maybe they give you a project, or they maybe they give you challenges, or they ask you maybe they ask you regarding your past projects, right? So, and due to any XYZ reason, you're not able to clear it because 25% time, let's say if you have cleared this technical round, then there are again 25% chance that maybe if you're not well prepared, so maybe you may have, maybe you will face rejection in this managerial round. So for this round as well, you need to prepare. So here they are not going to ask you technical question, but more of regarding your experience, your educations. So they would try to see how you are fitting into the role. So we're going to talk about it, right? Then the last one, which is the again the most ask questions, or you can say query, that is that the relevancy, right? Let's say you have experience which is not relevant, okay, or maybe you do not have any experience which is going to be directly freshers, okay. So anyone want to ask anything before we start with the first topic? So again, you have the chat box whenever you have any doubt. So you can go ahead and shoot your doubt in the chat box. Or if you want to unmute yourself, that is fine. You can also unmute yourself. All right, so let's start with the first topic, right? So yeah, so yeah, that's perfect. So we're going to talk about that career gap as well, how you can fill it, right? Yeah, just remind me if in case I forget it. So before the last PPT, we're going to talk about this as well. Okay, so let's start, right? So let's start with the first topic, which is going to be why we are not getting interview calls. Okay, so let's say you are applying for the job. Okay, so whenever you are applying for the job, the you need to check how much experience. Yeah, so the notice period is also I'll cover it. Okay, so let's now talk about the first topic, which is why you are not receiving calls. Okay, now whenever you are applying for any roles or any job, posting, they have mentioned two things which is important. Okay, one is the skill sections, and one is going to be the experience. Okay, so the first topic is going to be skills. Okay, and the second one is experience. So let's say if they have mentioned that they're looking for 1 to 3 year experience. Okay, so they need 1 to 3 year experience, and let's say a 1 to 3 year experience, and you have only 1 year experience. Okay, so there is a chance that maybe they will see your resume and they will try to consider it, but considering if you have the skills, if you have mentioned the skill, let's say they have mentioned SQL, they have mentioned Python, okay, they have mentioned Excel, okay, maybe one of the BI like Power BI, right, one of the BI tool. So here if you have the skills, and if you have this 1 year experience, there's a chance that you may get an interview call. Okay, now let's say they are saying they need something like maybe 3 to 5 years plus. Okay, and you have 1 year experience, so there is a very less chance that you will receive an interview call, because obviously you have just 1 year experience. Okay, so instead of applying for these positions, if you are in a situations where you have 1 year experience, say skill, you can mention it, right? You can mention SQL, you can mention Python, you can mention Excel, or whatever it is. But based on the experience, most of the time they will try to filter, because for every job now, every companies they are receiving 1,000 plus applications. Okay, so first filter they will see just on the experience, and the second filter they would see if this relevant experience, and third they will see the skills. Okay, so this is one of the reason that you are maybe not getting interview calls. So instead of applying for 3 year or 5 years where they have mentioned specifically 3 or 5 years, it is better to target those companies or those job posting where they have mentioned less experience. Because if any company that they have mentioned 1 to 3 year experience, even here they may consider the freshers as well. So the people who are freshers or who are not from the same domain, who have a different domain experience. So here you go. Here, this type of job listing you can apply. Now, whenever you are applying for any job, let's say from LinkedIn or maybe from Naukri.com. Okay, so you will always see the requirement, right? So sometime if the company has not mentioned like how many year of experience they need, which is mostly likely not possible because 99% chance you will see that they have mentioned the experience. So try to see it. If you have 1 year experience, go for it. If in case they have mentioned like 3 to 5, okay, then there is no point of applying or wasting time. Now, when you will be applying, so there is a lot of things, right? You cannot just go ahead and directly apply, because if you directly go ahead and apply, then again, your resume may get rejected. So again, in the resume sections, we're going to talk about it. What are the points you should consider while you are applying? So obviously for applying one job, you need to spend some time, maybe like 30 minutes. Okay, if it's a very good company, then you can spend 30-minute time to kind of tailor your resume according to the job posting. Maybe write cover letters, right? Write a cover letters using maybe ChatGPT. That's okay, but you can write a cover letters, right? You can, and there's also some questions maybe which you need to fill, right? So it is better to apply even less. Instead of applying 100 companies, even if you apply 10, but try to match, try to filter out the job listing and then apply. So this is something. And also in LinkedIn, you may have always seen that okay, 100,000 people already applied. If it's 1,000 people already applied, that there is no point of applying. If it's like only you will see that 100 people applied, I will show you LinkedIn as well in some time. If only 100 people applied, then you can kind of go ahead and apply. Maybe it's a 500 people applied, then still you can consider, right? But if it is already like 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people have applied, then you can just skip that. Okay, so even if you apply 10 listing, 10 job posting for 10 job, I would say applications, and if you make sure that your experience is aligned, which we will also talk about the relevant experience sections, like what are the job role you can apply based on what experience you have, or if you're a freshers, what are the company you can target, what are the job role you can target, right? So here, based on the experience, if you have experience of 2 years, right? If you have experience of 2 years, then you can apply for even if the company has mentioned as a 3 years, okay, 3 to 5 years, that's fine. If you have experience of 2 years, which is relevant, let's say it's a maybe data analyst, business analyst, or finance analyst, price analyst, or whatever it is, right? If it's a data related role, you can apply even if it is 3 to 5 years, though you have 2 year experience. Now, again, in the resume section, we're going to talk about how you should mention your skills. Okay, how you should organize your resume properly in the simplest manner, so that even if your resume is going through ATS, then still there is a chance that your resume is going to be filtered out. Okay, so most importantly, apply for less, but give like I would say good resume. So that means that is going to increase your chance of hearing back from the company, not the job offer, but at least you would get something, maybe interview, right? Because if you get an interview call, there is a chance out of 10 interview, definitely I can assure you that you can at least get 1 or 2 offer letters. Okay, now this is about the reason why you are not getting maybe interview calls. So if you are in this, then you just need to work on it. Okay, so apply for the more, I would say, relevant. Can you tell me when is job uploaded most likely? So for that, you can just create alert, right? So in LinkedIn, you have alert, and for Naukri, you don't have to even apply. If you have a solid profile, the recruiter will definitely call you. Now, when I had my resume uploaded in the Naukri.com, I used to get so many calls. So I had to remove my resume because, you know, every day I used to get multiple calls, and I used to also refer like other people's. The reason why only because I had my resume, which is, formatted properly. So everything was mentioned properly, which I'm going to give it to you, the resume templates. Okay. So again, as soon as you see it, you can apply it. Best time to apply is, I would say, going to be maybe, in the evening you can apply, or in the early morning. So that's one of the best time which I followed. I still follow if I'm applying for any job postings. Okay. So let's go ahead and see our next topic, which will be the resume, right? So all of you know this ATS, which is called application tracking system, right? So let's say when you are applying for a job, let's say there is a job posting called maybe data analyst. Okay, so we have a job data analyst. Okay, so for data analyst, let's say there are two positions. Okay, now the company, either they will go to LinkedIn, they will post this, their hiring manager will post it, or maybe HR or somebody, or sometime it's like 10 people post the same job. Okay, some people do it just to get followers. Again, there are some scammers are also there, right? So here, what I'm trying to show you is that, let's say, if you are kind of saying, okay, there's a job that is aligned with my profile, and I see kind of, again, you may not see this number, but let's say you have seen it, right? So the best way to apply it is again going to be to see if in case the job is genuine. Let's say if it is posted by this someone who is already working in the same company, or it's a hiring managers, so you can directly apply from that link. Now, again, we'll talk about the resume. What are the things you should consider? So you can directly apply from the link if this link is not asking you to fill up a Google form, right? If it is taking you to the company career portal, then you can apply. The second way would be is that you can go to this company LinkedIn profile, and then try to find out the hiring team or HRs, or maybe data managers, right? Data managers, or maybe any data analyst, anyone who is working like the employee. If they're working in the company, you can try to find out them, and you can say, hey, I have seen that in your company there is a listing, there is a job posting which is called data analyst, and I believe this is aligned with my profile. So would you be able to refer me for these positions? I would be forever grateful. Okay, a very short, like just one or two line. So just send it to at least two people, 2 to 3 people. If one person doesn't reply, maybe the second or the third one would be kind enough to reply. So you would, even if one person recommend, so there is a chance that maybe your resume will directly go to the HR, right? So HR, and then if it is coming from one of the employee, so there is a chance that HR is going to consider it, at least for maybe a screening round, maybe you will be getting a call. So even if you are applying from the link, sometime the application doesn't reach out to the HR. So still try to see if you have any connections, or try to look for the HR or someone who is already working in the same company, and then try to maybe try to have a chat with them and then apply. Okay, so this is the second, the most useful technique that I have used, and I have seen really good results. Not only me, most of my one-on-one mentors, students, I have suggested this, and this really worked. I mean, this is a genuine advice, because here you will have higher chance, right? So this is about, let's say, how you can apply, right? So I have told you two options. You directly apply from this link, whatever, wherever you're applying, maybe Naukri, or maybe Indeed, or maybe LinkedIn, or you are directly reaching out to the employee, or maybe HRs, and then you are sharing your resume link. So how do you share it? Again, you can upload your resume as a PDF in Google Drive, make it accessible by everyone, and then just create the copy the link and then share it in the LinkedIn, so that if even if they open it, they would be able to see your resume. So make sure that it is accessible by everyone without requesting. Okay, so this is how you can apply. Now let's go ahead and see that how you can let's go and let's see how you can work with the resume, right? So now what are the things you should consider while applying? So let's go ahead and talk about that first. Okay. So I am reading the chat. If anyone, anyone is having any doubt, anything, you can, keep on posting, right? So as I said, that it's already open in another screen, so I can see it, right? If you're just sharing something, okay. So next, let's see how you should format your resume, okay, and what is the best practice. Now I talked about ATS earlier, which is called application tracking system. We will come back to it again. So here, if you see, I have example of resume, right? So here I have two resume. One is this one, where there is a nice, beautiful picture you can see. Okay. And we have the informations like the job title, maybe the company, and then again, like a little bit professional summary, and then maybe some skill sections, the experience, then city, then some of the things, right? You can see it here. So it's a good resume. I would not say it's a bad resume, but this resume nowadays it doesn't work for, especially for data domain. Yeah, so we're going to talk about it, Mayur, regarding your this doubt. Okay, so here, if you see right now, this resume is good. No offense, but this used to work like I would say 10 years back, right? Now the companies are looking for a simple standard resume which is ATS friendly, because this resume will scan through ATS system, and which is going to kind of you can say parse each and everything that is there, and then try to match with the job descriptions. If things are matched, then it reach out to the employee. So if let's say employee is sitting here, which is a hiring team, okay, I would mention as a hiring team, and here we have ATS. Okay, so ATS is, you can say, simple system, or you can say the applications or tools. Okay, and here let's say they are here they have the cloud, right? So where all the resumes are getting uploaded by applications. Let's say you're also applying, somebody else applying, so everything is stored here. It goes through the ATS, it filter out, and then it kind of filter out the resume, and then it send it to the hiring team, or maybe the HR, or whatever it is, right? So now how does ATS know that which application to hire? So this hiring team, they will create some requirement here. Let's say they will post the requirement, we're looking for data analyst with SQL 3-year experience, something like this. And whatever it is, they will create a requirement, and then that is going to connect with the in the cloud. Okay, so as soon as they receive applications regarding that job posting, it goes through the ATS, and then the ATS filter out that, and then that is how they see the applications. Because if there is a 1000 applications that is received against one job posting, which is called data analyst, and obviously they cannot go through 1000. So this ATS is going to kind of filter out, let's say 50. Okay, because there are only two job, you can say two position that is available, right, to fill. So here from the 50, it can be a human or anyone who will go through that and maybe try to find out like maybe 10 or 15, maybe 10 maximum, I would say. And then they will give call to those 10 people, 10 candidate, and then things would go further, right? So maybe from the 10, they will find out five, and then they will take an interview for those five. And from the five, maybe they will select two. So this is how the things works. Out of 1050, then two. So if you want your resume to be in this 50, okay, so obviously you need to follow this template. So why this template is so simple and so standard, and it is friendly? Because of the layout. If you see here, simple, it's a very simple. Even if it is not reading by ATS, even if it is reading by human, so it's very simple, and they would be able to understand. So they would first see the name. Now I have a better version of this, which I'll be give it to you. So they will see the name, they will see the email if they have to contact you, they will see the phone number, they would see the city and the country, right? Because they need to ensure, if I am looking to hire someone from Gurgaon, so I would need to see that the application that we have received, I do not want to hire somebody from Mumbai, right? Because then maybe the candidate will not come, and then maybe candidate will come again, there will be thousand of problems, right? They would need extra money, they would need to get settled, or maybe 50% people will not come, right? So it's better to focus on the applications which are from the same city. Okay, so location is very important here. Phone number is very important, because if I need something, I will just give a call, right? So these things are very important. We can also add LinkedIn and portfolio link as well, just to just if in case the recruiter want to quickly verify something, so they can go through our profile and they can check and they can verify. Okay, so now, talking about the experience again, we're going to talk about the experience sections. What are the things you should mention and how you should mention the experience things. So again, you got some idea. So talking about how many page the resume should be, it is advisable that you should have a resume only for 1 to maximum 2 page. If you have really good experience, let's say 3 years, 5 years, then you can go for a 2 page. If you have less experience or maybe 1 year experience or no experience, it is better to just make everything in 1 page. So I would be very honest with you. There is no fixed score, right? The people do talk about ATS score all the time in the internet, but there is no such things called ATS score, because see, it is very depending on role to role. Now, for every job posting, there could be a different ATS score, right? So we do not know what this employee is going to enter into this ATS system. Okay, because they may enter that, hey, I need somebody with SQL, I need somebody with the Python, I need somebody with the BI, I need somebody with Excel, right? And then some soft skill, then some requirements. So all this together become 100. Okay, this is a 100 score. So they would say that, okay, we are okay with the, let's say 75%. Now, this 75% means what? Out of this 100, the word that they have mentioned, 75% should match. Okay, so this is they have mentioned. They can also mention, I would say 50, 60, 90 or 95, 99. We do not know, right? So our job is to the best score for that role would be only based on the JD, what they have mentioned. You need to make sure that everything you have in your resume. So that's going to give you, I would say, a better score, right? If in case, let's say your resume you have uploaded to one of the online ATS score checker and it gives you a score of 100. Okay, you have a score of 100 plus or maybe 100, and you are applying for a job where they have mentioned that I need SQL, BI, Excel, and Power BI. Let's say you do not have these skills, but you have something else. So do you think that that's going to give you that that's ATS is going to filter the role? No, because why? Because obviously for every job posting, this ATS score will depend on the job requirement, who has created this requirement here in this ATS system. Okay, so this is the ATS system just for you to understand. So this is how it works. All you just need to make sure that it follow the simple standard, which is you can say parsable by ATS system. So that means if they so this ATS system is basically a simple Python code which basically read this text from your resume. So it has to be readable format, right? If you have properly things, so this Python code that they have set up in this ATS tools, that will be able to read each and everything. So it has to be read. If you have something like image, so obviously that's going to throw an error. So there is a chance that the resume would be, I would say not filtered because it has something which is not readable format. Okay. So that's going to again give a negative ATS score, right? So every item that is there, maybe that can cause, you can say, that can be a reason of increasing a chance of ATS score, but mostly it works based on how many the requirement they have mentioned by this employee. Okay, this is the employee who has mentioned the requirement. Okay, now this is fine. Let's go ahead and see a real resume, which is this resume that I'm going to also give it to you. And I guess that will be in the resources. Okay, so all this you will be getting from this resources. I will directly go to the resume and show you how you should kind of format it and how you should use this resume. Now, this is one of my resume, which I have personally, I have been using it and I have given it to many other students, which they are also using it. Okay, so first of all, as soon as you get this, you will be getting the link to this resume template. So just go to this file, the first task, and here click this make a copy. So that means as soon as you make a copy, you will have a edit access. Now I have noticed 99% chance the people request edit access. You will not have edit access. So because it is hosted in my cloud, right? So what you need to do is that you need to go to file and then you need to make a copy. If you just do it, make a copy, then you will have it in your drive and then you can edit it. Okay. Let's say you want to remove this background, watermark, right? So you can go to insert and you can just go to, where is it, watermark, and you can say you don't want to keep this resume because you can remove it, right? So here you can just select this edit images and you can just remove this images or select something else, right? So now this is what you will do. You can just select remove watermark, right? So here, so it's removed, right? Now once you do it, you will have the edit access, right? So sometime you will see that if you have created make a copy, it is going to mess up. So here again, you can go to settings and you can adjust this page setup. And here, if you see this top, bottom and everything, you can just make sure that it has as less as possible. So from here you can customize this margin, how much from the top you want, how much from the bottom you want, right? And then you can kind of adjust it. So if you see my template, it's very simple, and I will show you the setting as well. So again, here if you go page setup, I think it is this is the settings. So using the settings you can customize. Oops. So I can just go ahead and click here, and yeah, I think, yeah, here is also some extra space. Again, we can reduce it, but again, this is I have kind of created, so you can kind of reduce the extra space from the top. I usually have lesser space in the top. So if you want to do it, you can go to settings. Let me see if in case it is going to work or not. So this is fine. We can say the top margin, we can just mention it, let's say 0.1. Okay. Again, so we can just play with it and you'll be able to come up with a perfect one. Okay. Now, so here, the most important things, if you see, I have mentioned the city. So you need to mention your city, the country, the phone number, and then your email ID. Okay. And the LinkedIn. So if you just click on this edit, then you can add your link here. So it's just called hyperlink. Okay. Or you can just press Control K or Command K, and then you will be able to add a hyperlink for the GitHub as well. Also, you can add the hyperlink. Now, GitHub is not mandatory, but at least add the LinkedIn. So if somebody want to verify something, they can click on the LinkedIn and then they can just go to your LinkedIn and check something, right? If they want to check something. The next one, which is very, very, very important. Okay, let me just make it a little bit zoom in. Okay, so the very, very important one here, again, if you are freshers, maybe you do not have this professional summary, right? So you can mention about the projects that you have done in your, I would say, in your kind of the university or graduations, right? Now the people who have mentioned you have some gap after the first experience, right? So you can mention something like, you have worked for some freelance project, you have work on upskilling yourself, enroll for some course. Okay, anything, you can just mention something productive here. Not more than like 2 lines or 3 lines. So I have like a 6 year plus experience right now. It's old resume. So I have mentioned 4 lines. Okay, let's go ahead and read 1 or 2 lines to understand what I have mentioned. And if you have experience in the data, even it is 1 year, you can still mention the same as it is that I have mentioned here. Okay. Now I have mentioned here is I am a data professional with 5 year experience transforming data into actionable insight to drive business growth and efficiency. So most of the time, based on the role, I customize it. Okay, if they mention that, okay, we're looking for someone with Excel, advanced Excels, 5 year advanced Excel. So I usually mention I'm a data professional with 5 year experience in advanced Excel. If they mention it, we're looking for somebody who has experience in writing complex SQL query. So I usually mention it. I have I am a data professionalist. I have experience 5 years in writing SQL complex queries. So whatever the requirement, you can customize it. You can just copy paste the JD in the chat GPT and just paste that your this professional summary, and you can say customize it according to me. So after 4 to 5 prompt, you would have a perfect like this. Okay. Now here I have mentioned skills in SQL, Python, Excel, and data visualizations tool like Power BI and Tableau. These are the main tools that they have mentioned in the job posting, which I was applying for. And now I have also mentioned some soft skills, right? So experience in data accuracy, data governance, cloud technologies, AWS, Azure. Again, it's not mandatory. If you do not have it, as I said, that you don't have to mention it. Strong analytical mindset with expertise in stakeholder management. So again, if you have some experience, you know what this stakeholder management means, because if they have mentioned stakeholder management in the job descriptions, so if you edit, it's going to increase your resume ATS score because they have mentioned this in the job descriptions. Okay, so again, there are some more points: cross-functional collaborations, process optimizations, adaptable, and they're committed to continuous learning. Now, this line is very, very powerful. So I'll just highlight it why it is very powerful. Okay, so sometime the hiring team or maybe the data managers or the data lead, team lead, they knows that okay, it's not possible for you to know everything. Okay, but they want to hire someone who has passion in learning, right? Who has who's continuously updating their self, learning, right? Again, that's definitely you, because see, that's the reason you have joined this webinar, right? You could have ignored it, but you wanted to learn something. You wanted to kind of, you're curious about something, right? So you have that patience, right? But how they're going to know? You need to write it, right? So here you can just mention something like this, not the same way, but you can mention it any way that I'm passionate about learning new technologies, new tools, right? So I have mentioned this way. Again, you can just copy paste it, totally fine, right? Just you need to arrange the skills. Okay. Now, when to mention that you have the skills, right? Again, we're going to talk about in the skill sections, how much skill you should know, and when you can mention that, okay, you have SQL, you have Python, right? If you are freshers or if you are experienced, you already have that, right? So let's go ahead and see how you should mention the skill sections. Now, this is one of how I organize my resume. As I said, this is my direct resume. So it's a 6-month old resume, and I usually organize it properly. So I usually mention as a programming and querying language. So right now, let's say if you just have SQL and Python, you can just mention SQL and Python, or maybe DEX or M, whatever it is, right? So this is where you can mention all this programming language that you have. Again, I have not mentioned multiple. I also have Linux, HTML, and many more, but I have not mentioned. Maybe the role I was applying, they just mentioned this programming skills. So I knew it, so I have mentioned it, right? So again, you don't have to mention everything. As I said, maybe most of the time you will see with the SQL and Python only they have mentioned. But if they have mentioned M as well, if they have mentioned DEX as well, so you can mention it here, this the programming language. Now, again, DEX is not a programming language, but it is something, right, where you write a code, which is called data analysis expressions. That is in Power BI, right? So next we have a data visualizations, right? So here again, I have mentioned all my data visualizations tool. Again, you don't have to know everything. As I said, you don't have to mention everything. If you just have maybe obviously we will have Excel and you will have Power BI. If you just mention this two, that is fine. Now I have other, maybe the role that I was applying, maybe they have mentioned everything, right? So that's the reason I have mentioned Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Looker Studio, which is Google Looker Studio. Then we have SSRS, which is an old data visualization tool that is discontinued by Microsoft in 2020, I think. And Amazon Insight is kind of something like same Tableau, but it's mostly used by the company who use AWS. Okay, so this is a data visualizations tool. Then we have databases. So even if you have a one databases idea, like maybe MySQL, you can mention PostgreSQL, you can mention SQL Server. That is fine. See, as long as you are able to explain what is PostgreSQL and maybe some of the syntax, because mostly MySQL, SQL Server, and PostgreSQL, they have 95% same syntax. Just some of the date functions and the some of the limit and offset, these are different. You can learn it in one day, and yeah, you can mention it if they mention that okay, we're looking for somebody who has idea about PostgreSQL as well and MySQL as well. So here we have mentioned the database. Now this is my way of showing it. Even if you want to show it without this kind of a subheading, you can directly write this, and then you can write the soft skills. I sometimes use it that way as well. So I just write at technical skills, and then I write all these things one way. And I find this when you group it in kind of different category, it is much better. Even if you have one or two tools, that is fine. Why it is better? Because it's very easy to read by human as well, by ATS as well. Okay, because ATS know, okay, this is the category, and okay, from this category we're looking for, let's say, Spark. So this guy has Spark, so that means we can consider it, right? So we have here cloud and big data technologies. If you do not have it, it's fine. Again, we're going to talk about one of the cloud technology that you should start learning just from today or tomorrow. Okay, so again, that's we'll talk about in the skill sections. Okay, now in this data warehousing and governance, so this is something you can just again mention it as it is. Not much things here. All you just need to know how to store data. Like you clean the data, then you store the data, then you kind of do the data modeling. I mean, before storing, you do the data modeling, right? So the data storing is called data warehousing. Now, again, if you have some idea, you can mention it. If you do not have the idea, then you can learn this concept using ChatGPT, and then you can mention it. Okay. Then we have some automations and workflow. I have mentioned Power Query, self-scripting. So some of my skills that I have, if you have anything, you can mention it, or you can just mention Python script. That's it. Python scripting is something the same. If you know Linux, then you can use this, mention this shell scripting. Again, as I said, this is not mandatory. You can just delete this line completely. That is also totally fine. Now coming back to this soft skills. So here I have less space. So I have not mentioned all the soft skills here. So it is better how you pick this soft skill from the job descriptions. Okay. So how to craft a summary for someone transiting into new domain while highlighting their translation. So I think, we will talk about when you are, let's say switching to a new domain. So that's a different point. Now, yes, I will be sharing this resume template. Okay. So for the fresher also, as I said, you can use the same. We already talked about in the fresher, you can just mention your some of your projects or some of the things here. This professional summary, you can mention it, or you can directly delete this section as well. Okay. If you do not want to showcase anything, you can directly start with the skills for freshers. Okay. Now, soft skills, you can mention as much as possible. How you're going to get the soft skills? You're going to get the soft skill from the job description. So mostly in the job description, they would mention something like cross-functional, which I've already mentioned it here. They would mention something called, can we fake experience for better opportunities? Yeah, we will talk about it as well in the experience sections. Okay. So storytelling, problem solving, project management, stakeholder management. So these are some soft skills. Okay. So you can mention it based on the job descriptions. I have mentioned this. I keep on changing it for every different job that I apply. Okay. So let's go ahead and see one of the experience. Okay. And let's see how you should mention this experience thing here. Okay. So again, you would write this data analyst. You would just edit it if you have any different experience. And now here's the thing. If you do not have a experience, which is a data analyst, okay, if you have experience which is a little similar, right? If you even have used Excel in your job, I mean, 95% people use Excel, right? So you can just create 3 to 4 points regarding Excel's as experience, and you can show that I have used Excel for creating dashboard, or I have used Excel for creating reports. I used to clean data. You can get this point from the ChatGPT. Now, how you are going to get this point? Okay, so this is, I'm talking about the people who have experience, right? So let's say you are working for XYZ company, and in that company, you are not working as a data analyst, but let's say you are just working as a process analyst, okay? Or maybe process associate. So something similar, but not directly related to data analyst. So the best way to do some research, let's say if there is a person who's working as a data analyst, what are the things he or she does? Okay, so you can go to their profile and they can check what they're doing, or you can chat with them, right? Then you can say, hey, I'm also working in this company, so your data analyst, great, nice to see you. So I mean, what are the things you do? What is your day-to-day activities, right? You get some insight, and then you can include those insight here. Now, I would not say that directly mention here as a data analyst, because if you mention as a data analyst, if the company want to verify, okay, so they would verify it, that your role and the durations. So some company verify the role as well. Some company doesn't verify it. Some company doesn't reply it. So if the company that you are applying, it's a very big tech company like maybe Amazon, Google, so they would definitely verify each and everything. Okay, maybe it's a banking or financial sector, so they would verify. In India mostly. If it is in any other country, so they don't verify most of the time. Okay, sometimes they verify, but again, so make sure that if you have mentioned something which is again not directly related, so that's right, you own the responsibility. So all you, maybe you will lose that opportunity, right? Then you need to apply again, but maybe somehow you will be getting the opportunity, maybe in a company which where they don't verify, mainly like startup or a small company, right? So they don't verify directly. So here you can kind of mention a different, different, I would say, experience as well. Make sure to update the LinkedIn accordingly. Okay. And this is one thing you can do. So again, as I said, how you're going to get this point, you're going to talk with someone who's already working as a data analyst. Now, why you're doing it? Because now for fresher, it is very, very, very tough to, I would say, get a job. I mean, at this moment when we are talking, right? So now it's very tough because I have gone through before this workshop, I have gone through, I would say 100 of plus job listing. And I've seen mostly the companies are mentioning that experience. Very rare the companies are mentioning freshers. Maybe the companies are hiring as a freshers, but they're not mentioning in the job descriptions. Because if they mention freshers, because I have also talked with some of the recruiter as well, they have mentioned if we mention freshers, we get like 2000 applications, and it's a waste of energy and time for us to filter out whom to consider. So if I just mention, let's say 2 year experience, the number of volume of applications are less. So for us, it's better to filter out, more deserving candidates. So again, you don't have to discertain, but this is the fact. So again, you can get some internship, you can get, we will talk about it, and then you can mention it, right? So again, here you got to know, okay, how we get this point. Okay, now all these points should I explain properly. Now let's go ahead and read one or two lines from here. So I have mentioned here the call design and maintain a real-time dashboard, a reporting and performance metrics to track KPI. KPI is basically the business goals, right? Enabling leadership to make informed decisions and improve business metrics by 15% business performance, right? So again, you can change it. You can just give it to ChatGPT and you can create it your own, right? So here are some more projects that I have mentioned. I have mentioned automated reporting workflow by replacing manual Excel analysis with Power BI dashboard, providing real-time insights, right? Saving 20 hour of time per week. So here two things that is important. One, three things. One is the point should be in bullet point so that people can read anywhere. Maybe they can start from here. They can start from here. So each point should have an individual meaning. And then the second point is that again, it has to start with the action verb, which is the actionable verb, right? So here, if you see designed, maintained, automated, analyzed, collaborated, right? So achieved, all these are action verb. So they start from action, right? Then followed by this impact, right? What is the benefit the company got because of this? So this is called impact. Now this is a number, numeric, measurable impact. There are two type of impact. One is measurable, one is you can say non-measurable. So we need to mention at least 2 to 3 measurable impact in the entire job descriptions. If you are a freshers, even if you are doing a project, there is also impact which you need to mention. We will talk about in the project section. Okay. So here, if you have experience, then you just need to make, properly align. You can refer to this, my point. Just don't directly copy paste it, but you can try to create your own versions, right? So here I have the second experience. So you can again go through it. It's something like the same, but that's a different role. And these points are a real point. Okay. Because as I said, I have just removed this company name and everything just for the copyright. And these points are real. Okay. Again, I have like 20 plus resume. So as I said, for different job, I use a different resume. How to measure the impact, right? Let's say you are working for a company called Flipkart. Okay. And you are working for the sales department, right? So your job is to increase the sales. Or maybe you are working for a line of business called return. So what is your impact? The main KPI is going to be reducing the number of return, right? So this is how you got to know. You can say that I created a dashboard where I analyze all the returning patterns and I identified the customer who are maximum time returning, mostly they are fraud. And that's helped the business to reduce the return by 25%, 15%. These numbers can be fake. It doesn't matter. As long as you are able to explain something, that's fine. So before interview, just do some numbering. So they may ask, hey, what do you mean by this 15%? So you can just calculate some numbers that, okay, this is this, right? So you can work out some numbers. Let's say the return was 10,000. And when I joined, in the previous quarter return was 10,000. So I created this dashboard. The management was able to identify few customers or few city or few pin code where they were getting maximum return. People buy and they send a fraud product. I mean, you can say duplicate or you can say whatever it is, right? So I identified those pin code based on my analysis and recommended that to the managers, and they kind of block those pin code for returning. And that is how they are able to reduce the number of return to 7,500, right? So from 10,000, 7,500, it's a fake number, but you are able to explain it and you're able to mention it. You are able to justify it, right? So that is fine. Even if it is a fake, everyone knows that it may be fake. So again, because I have mentioned it here, achieve 25% year-in-year growth. My company has achieved more than 45% growth, but it's not directly that because of me, the company has achieved 25% growth, right? But maybe there are some person that the company has achieved. So if somebody is going to ask me this, so I can explain that this is the revenue, this was the number revenue, and I kind of created some project, some dashboard, something, this I recommended something, and the revenue jumped by extra 25%. I just need to work with the numbers before the interview, right? So again, you don't have to mention multiple, but 2 to 3 impact you can mention if you have experience, right? At least 2 impact you should mention. Now, why we are mentioning this impact? We are mentioning this impact just for the ATS, because for any company where the resume is going through the ATS, so ATS will definitely check this the actionable verb and this impact number impact, which is called measurable impact. Okay, so this is the reason we are kind of mentioning it. Okay, okay, give me a second. So now here, here I have mentioned some, you can say just tools. It's not mandatory, but I like to keep it like this way. Okay, so because in different company use different tools, right? So I kind of mentioned the tools that I have used, the project that I have worked, the skills that I have gained. Okay, so I kind of mentioned it here. It's not mandatory. If you want to mention it, you can mention it, because this is how they know. Okay, in this company he has worked with the some of the project with Kafka, Hive, or maybe ADF, Hadoop, or something, right? So then we have the education section. If you organize it a little bit, so education would be adjusted here only. All I just need to adjust, you can say one space. If I just adjust one space, then it's going to kind of, this education will come here. Okay, so you can do that. You will see the education will come here. Okay, so again, you can work with this, the previous line, and one page should basically tell everything about your profile. If you are experienced, this is I'm telling for the people who have experience, right? If you do not have experience, then what should you mention? Again, we're going to talk about this internship, which are virtual internship. And recently, I think you also have seen Deloitte is also providing data analytics and internship. They also are providing certificate. PwC internship is there on Forge. And then there are some more internship are there, which are just for learning. So you can do go to Google and type internship, free internship, data analytics internship, and you can mention those. So 2 to 3 internship you can mention, 2 internship you can mention. Okay, and try to always look for the new opportunity. This is I'm talking about the freshers. Okay, so Facebook, I think not Facebook, but Google also give opportunity to freshers. Now if you have this resume organized properly, you can get a data analyst, the paid role at Google, which is a data apprentice, something they call it. So again, you can check. So every year they run two batch where they hire people at the freshers. They give opportunity to people who are freshers, and then once you enter, then you can obviously get a Google experience, and right, the possibilities are endless after that. So let's see some of the chat. So this code basic internship is worth it. So the code basic internship is, I would not say it's not worth it, but you can mention it, right? If you have done it, you can mention the projects. So mostly you have done the projects, right? For code basics, if you're freshers, you can mention it, but it's better to kind of do some internship for some more popular brand. Maybe just I've mentioned like Deloitte or maybe PwC or maybe something else. There's a free Google sheet I have added in my Instagram, the bio. You can go there and go to this internship page, and you'll be able to see multiple internship opportunities. Okay, or you can just go to Google and type data analytics internship. Okay, if you just type this and you go here, even you can do it internship by Tata as well. And there are more big brands out there, right? So you will be working as a job simulations, and you'll be assigned, you'll be getting a task, and you'll be able to kind of do this internship, right? So these are some job internship that you can see. PepsiCo, right? Big brand. Global Bank of America. If you're targeting financial analyst, this is one of the good options, right? Sales analyst. Then you have so many things. You don't have to do everything, but do 2 to 3. So you can learn the concept, right? It doesn't take that much time. Within 1 or 2 days, you can finish this. Now you will be creating a beautiful dashboard here. You will be creating, you can say, multiple things like maybe dashboard reporting or maybe analyze data using Excels. We do have Walmart. So good thing is that all these are free, and you also get a certificate. Okay, so these are some big brand. You can consider this BCG as well, and you can consider this EYSL, KPMG as well. So a lot of things are there. You can consider it. I think Deloitte also you'll see. Yeah, this one you can consider Mastercard. So you can analyze the Mastercard related. Okay, so you can explore it, and you will see more opportunities here just to learn. So everyone has not joined this workshop, right? Only 300, I guess, 300 people has enrolled, right? 300 people enroll, and only 22 people are attending. I'm not sure if the rest of the people are going to attend, or they're going to not attend. They're going to go through the recordings, right? So maybe there would be kind of 50 people who would do it. I'm talking about the freshers, right? Now, company doesn't care if everyone has done the same thing. So company would see your resume. Now, everyone would not again have the same resume template as well, right? So you would have a proper standard template, and let's say there are 10 people have the same template. That's very rare. Even if there are 10, there is a chance that the company would give a call to 10 people only. Why? Because of the simplicity, because of the standard, because of the ATS-friendly. Correct. So maybe everyone has got to know about all this opportunity, but not everyone has done it, right? So maybe somebody has done it for this, somebody has done it for this. What insight you are bringing, right? So here you're going to bring your own insight. Not everyone is going to kind of do the same thing. Let's say you are also creating a report. I'm also creating a report. My dashboard would be little different than your one, right? Maybe you will be bringing more insight. So company would explore that and maybe give opportunity to more deserving. Yeah, as I said that, we already talked about it, right? Based on the job descriptions, you need to align the resume. So few of the things would remain same. I would say 90%, 10% things you need to change, like the skills and everything, right? So based on the resume, you need to change. And if in case you are, yeah, you don't get a recommendation letter, you just get a certificate mentioning that this person has completed internship, right? With this. So again, this is just showcase that yes, you have at least work on the some dirty data, right? Okay, let's go to the next things now, which will be here, the resume project section. So okay, now let's talk about how you can mention the project. Okay, so where's my mouse? Okay, let's go ahead and see how you can mention the project section. So enough of, I think, the experience talk. So in the project, you would need to kind of mention here, I would say the most important things is going to be objective. Okay, then action, and then you can say outcome or impact. You can say right here, you can mention as an outcome. Okay, now when you're saying everyone will do the same thing, right? See, not everyone will mention the project same as I have mentioned. Not everyone knows that, okay, we need to mention the project in this way, which is called objective, action, and outcome. So even if you're working in a project, any project, okay, it could be Excel data analysis, it could be PowerBI reports, it could be SQL queries that you are writing to solve some ad hoc problems of a company. So you need to know what is the problem that I am trying to solve. If there is a new problem, try to find one. Okay, let's say you are analyzing a sales data, then obviously there would be a problem that maybe they would want to identify this category where they have less sale. So you can say objective was to identify the category with the lesser sale. And then I kind of run some SQL query and I was able to find out the category where there was less sale. Then I recommended those category. Then obviously the business analyst team has implemented some discount, or maybe they have done something and that has increased the sale. Okay, so you find out the objective, then you mention as an action. What does it mean? Action means what exactly you have done. Okay, you got to know the problem. Then what you have done? You have run multiple SQL query. You first clean the data. This is your first action. You clean the data. You again, before that you collect the data. That is your first action. Then you clean the data. That means you organize the data. You make all the data in proper format. Like maybe some data are in dollars, some data are in INR, some data are in pounds. So you convert it in one measures, and then you transform the data. You clean the data, and then you kind of run some query, and then you kind of get the solution, then you submit that as a report. So that all things that you have performed, that is called action. Now what is outcome? The outcome is the result that the business has got, which is the increase in sales, or it has helped increase the business to for that. Again, as I said, that for this obviously it's a project, but it can showcase your proficiency, right? So they know, okay, you know what, how to kind of work in a project. You know that before working in a project, you need to identify the objective, then you need to you need to find, obviously you will be doing the action, like the task that you will perform, then that's going to bring some outcome. So this is your main result, right? So here, even if it is a simulations, let's say it's not a real project, real company project, but if you have showcase your proficiency like this, so they know, okay, this is something they will consider. Okay, let's go and let's see. Maybe now again, I have mentioned my projects here, and you can see it here. So I'll just show you one of my projects which I have kind of created, and this is how you can showcase the project. Okay, let's go ahead and see one of the projects. So this project is available in YouTube as well. You can get the same project. It's a Power BI project. It's a very interesting project. Again, why? Because of this. So this project is comes up with the challenge. So you get unstructured data, which is unstructured sales data from multiple format. Some sales data comes from a CSV, some sales data comes from a Excel file, some sales data come from 2020, 2021, and so many different sales data you get so many sales data, right? Then what you do is that you kind of obviously you clean the data, you transform the data, you kind of do a modeling, and then you kind of create the data story. So data story is basically you visualize the data and you create the dashboard. So if you see, this is how I have mentioned my project. Okay, now here I have mentioned my task, each and everything properly, what I have done, how I have done, and how I kind of got to solve the business problem. So if you click on this link, again, all things I have explained in the YouTube video. If you go through, just type in YouTube Costco project by Zero Analyst, you will be able to know. Now, this is the projects. If you click on it, and you will see that it's kind of filtering the data. So I think that we have not got some recent data, but yeah. And again, somewhere we have data, somewhere we do not have data, but we can filter out it here. Let's say you can select a quarter and you see the data, right? I can select the regions, and that's how filter the data. We can just explore it, right? So if somebody goes through it, now I have given this opportunity to everyone, whoever goes through it, right? If somebody goes through it as a recruiter, right, they would know that, okay, they may ask you some questions, say how you created this, right? So if you have done it, you can explain it. So they know it. A lot of things are there, like we have tooltips here. We have this KPI here, which is comparing the result with the previous quarter, previous years. We have a gas chart. We have a donut chart here. We have a map chart here, right? We have filter. We have customs filters. So if somebody who is looking for Power BI, if by any chance they get to see this projects, because that is they will not get the another applications who will also do the same project. That's very rare, right? Not everybody follows me, right? Not everybody will do the project the same as it is, right? Maybe all of you will do it, but not every one of you will apply for the same role, right? So maybe the recruiter who's checking out this project, so they just get to know your profile and they see this project. So trust me, if somebody goes through this project, they will be very impressed. Even if I'm hiring and if I'm the hiring manager or data lead, or if I see a project like this, obviously I will ask 20 questions to understand if it is done by him or not. And yes, if I verify it, so I would be very impressed. Anyone would be very impressed because of the very simple layout, very simple colors. If you see, we only have two colors here. That is matching with the logo, and very easy to, you can say, easy to analyze data. No unwanted things. Very clean, very organized. Okay, everything is structured. Okay, so this is how you mention the projects. Now, again, in the README also, you can see I have mentioned very clean and very organized way what I have done, how I have done, what I have done, right? So these things I have mentioned. Again, you can read out and go through this. Okay, let's go and let's see then the next sections, which is certifications. Now, this is not mandatory, I would say. If you have done some certifications, you can mention it. So I like to kind of keep on getting new certificates, and I do mention it because that is how, there is a point that I have mentioned in the top, and I've got multiple response because of just this point. Sometime if I do not know something, and if I applied for a role, I think we're working on here. So if I'm applying for a role and if they see continuous learnings, right? So anyone can mention it, right? So how they're going to know if this is actually the guy is actually learning or he just faking it, right? So if they see my some of the consistency, maybe if you see I have mentioned that I mean I have a lot of other certificate. I have not mentioned everything. I've just mentioned the recent 4 to 5. Maximum I mentioned like 5, but here I'm not sure why we have 6 here. So I've mentioned here one of my recent operation Six Sigma certifications, which is called white belt. It's a free certificate for certification. You can also do it. And I have mentioned machine learning with Python, and I have mentioned advanced SQL by HackerRank. So if you click on it, you'll be able to see the certifications. They would also able to see certifications. So I did all the certification, basic, advanced, and intermediate. And then I have mentioned big data with IBM. So this is again, they can click. Again, nobody is going to do that level check, but if they want to check it, they can go ahead and check it, right? So if you have done some certifications, you can mention it, and maybe sometime they would check if in case they want to check it, but we cannot say anything, right? If they want to check it, that's on you. Now what it tells it that the continuous learning, right? October I got the certificate, then Feb also I got the certificate, December also I got the certificate in 2023, October, and then Feb, right? So that means continuously I am doing something. Even if they ask, hey, what are you doing right now? So I can tell that, okay, this is what I'm learning right now, and I'm expecting a certifications by this month. So, and I will definitely, mention that. So maybe somehow they will trust. Yeah, obviously you can mention as a guided project as well, but don't mention as a guided project, right? Even if you have done a guided project, you can mention it as your own project. That's okay. Nobody's going to check that if you have copied or something, right? If they check it, just apply for the another one. That's okay. But you don't mention as a guided projects. You can directly mention this projects, because as I said, in a project, you just need to identify things which is like I mentioned here, right? In the project section, which is obviously going to be this thing, which is, where is it? I think it's here. Some points are here, some points are there. Yeah, it's going to be objective, then action, and then it's going to be the outcome, right? So if you can find problems and then you solve it, that's it. You can for the data set, you can go to kaggle.com, you can get a data set. You can go to Google and type real problem data set by Uber, real problem data set by Zomato. You will be getting a lot of resources. Just try to find a problem. If you do not know how to find a problem, go to ChatGPT and say, I want 10 real problem data analytics project idea, which is faced by industry or companies recently in the last 1 year. You get some idea and try to maybe try to get one, and then create a data set, and then somehow you can kind of do your own projects. You can include 2 projects done by you. It's okay. See, even if they see the same project done by others, it doesn't matter, right? You can follow the YouTube video as well. You can do the project. It doesn't matter. So I would be very honest. Recruiter doesn't have that much time to go through and see another guy also has done the same project. You also have done the same project. No. because you would mention different name, right? You would have a different name, you would have a different point. So it's going to be a little different how you present. Yeah, that's correct. So it depends how you present, right? So if you are just copying this, you would not go ahead and mention each in line by line, right? And even if you mention it, it's very likely impossible that somebody would the same who has mentioned the same line would apply for the same role, because maybe there's a chance that he has edited some line. Maybe he have chance complex SQL or advanced SQL here instead of SQL. Maybe he has mentioned as advanced SQL, right? Maybe he has mentioned as a Apple sales analysis. Okay, so I think this is about the resume. Now, if you use this template, uh, I can assure you this is going to definitely increase the chance of considering for at least for the interview or screening. You will be passing the screening round, and again that depends on this experience and the skill that how you mention it. By this time, the company has not verified you have actually worked or not. All they have seen your resume, and if your resume, let's say, goes through that screening section and somehow you get to go to the stage where they're going to take you interview, and that's where I can tell you that you have already passed 50%. So that means 50% of getting the job is done. Now, remaining 50%, that is how you are performing in the interview, how you are explaining this topic. If they're asking something from your resume, that's 25%. Okay, so let's go back to the PPT. Okay, so first 50% is the resume part and getting the interview call. Okay, so draw. Okay, so this is what I've noticed. Okay, again, this may be maybe not true for your experience, but for me and for my students, I have noticed this is something working. I've also gone through multiple posts in LinkedIn. I have seen. So 50% of getting the job is kind of if you have really outstanding resume. Okay, that is the chance. Obviously, the experience and everything. So that increase the chance of getting the job by 50%, and the remaining 50% is left out. Okay, which is here. Now I'll be very honest here. Okay, so here in the remaining 50%, I divided in two parts because this is what I follow. Okay, so 25% is kind of here, which is called luck. Now I don't know why, but I have noticed most of the time this is what happens most of the time with me as well, with most of the people as well. Okay, and the 50% is like how you perform in the interview. So in 50%, I would say again maybe 5% or 10% is the manager round, because 90% sometimes this manager also reject this profile because they try to verify things. And here is the technical round, and you can say the HR screening here, one of the HR round, and then one is the technical round, which is basically the coding round. Okay, like SQL and everything. Okay, so now why I split it this way? So I would say 10% here. Sometimes they don't take manager round. So obviously that's again based on the luck, I would say. But for India, I would say 80% time they would take a manager round for experienced people. For freshers, maybe they will not take. Maybe a team lead is going to take that. Okay, so here I would say this is called, so 25 plus 10, 35. So here I would say 15% and 5%. So maybe this percentage is different for you. So even if everything is perfect, okay, even if you have your resume, which is great, your HR round is clear, your technical round is clear, your manager round is clear, there is still chance that you don't get the opportunity. Okay, so that's where I call it bad luck. And this happens. I've noticed it. So what does it mean? It means that maybe the manager will be very complicated and they will ask you very complex things which they have never solved it, but they would try to prove it from you. Okay, that's bad luck, right? They may ask you in the technical round, they may ask you very complex SQL query, which is not realistic, right? I mean, which is maybe you will never write it in a real problem. Sometimes they write it, right? If it's a kind of, you can say, technical round by maybe hacker rank or maybe some other company, they have tied up, maybe they can give one very complex questions, and because of that you have to spend your most of the time and then you could not solve the remaining questions, right? So that's called bad luck. So here again, 50% resume. So that's the reason I say resume is very important. Okay, if you have the resume which is really optimized, and that's kind of increase the chance. And then these are the things that followed. So not every time your luck would be bad, right? So maybe two out of like out of 5 times, if you get a 5 interview calls, out of 5 times, maybe 2 times it's going to be bad, or maybe 1 time it's going to be bad. Maybe 3 times you will be getting good managers, good questions, easy questions, right? So here you kind of showcase it now. Okay, so this is what again based on my experience, maybe for your experience you may have different things you can share obviously in the chat box. And let's go to the next point now. Okay. So let's see what are the things so far we have talked about. We talked about 3 points, I think, and or maybe 4 points. Now, next point is going to be, again, this is called unable to solve questions during the interview. Okay. So here, why you are not able to solve the questions in the interview. And again, here, sometime I would say, you got really complex problem. Okay. So very hard, I would say, questions you got. Obviously, I would also not able to solve it if it is very, 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 very hard, right? And if it is something in under my capability, I can solve it. Now, sometime based on how well you prepared, if I have not prepared at all, okay, then even the easy question or medium questions, I cannot solve it. And this is I'm telling my experience, right? So how we kind of kind of solve it, right? So again, if you have a bad luck, then you cannot solve it. I mean, I also cannot solve it. That's okay. We can leave it, right? But not every questions we will be getting hard, right? So sometimes we will also have a good luck. So here, how you're going to work if you have a prepared really well, right? If you have prepared, let's say how I would say you prepared, you know all the common problem questions, right? So mostly, here we are talking about like mostly the data roles, which I'll show you some PPT, some slide here. So here I'm mostly talking about this 5 role. If you have any other role, maybe it's similar, but the entire workshop is just for this 5 roles. Okay. You can also include like reporting and maybe some of the other roles. So we will come to this like data analyst, data engineer, business analyst, Power BI developer, and business intelligence. Okay. So we are only talking about this role right now. So I think I was in which, okay, here. No, yeah. Okay. So if you really prepared well, so you are expecting a SQL round, right? You are expecting maybe after SQL round, you may be expecting a Python round for a senior role. Python, or maybe I would say Python or BI, like Power BI or Tableau or whatever it is your skill set. Okay. And then you're expecting a manager round. So mostly 99% company will only do 3 rounds, more than that, not more than that. So here initially you can expect a HR screening, which will just try to verify things like your experience and your skill set and everything, which is called HR screening. Okay. So if you can consider that as well, so it's called which is HR screening. So total 4 round you can expect. Even I think for a very big company also it's going to be the same. Maybe for like the top 5 company, maybe it will be 1 or 2 more round, but this will be the same. Even I have given interview for, you can say, a company like Adobe and not Google and Microsoft, but yeah, for a few more like top companies. So I have noticed maximum rounds are like this only. Okay, so here we have the HR where they just try to verify things. That's very easy. And then SQL round is like the same thing. So if you prepared really well, it's going to increase your chance of clearing the interview by 90%. Okay, if you really prepared well. And if you have really bad luck, so that because of 10%, you would be getting very difficult questions. So you cannot solve it. It's okay. So don't get demotivated and try to apply for the next role. And maybe in the next time you'll not be in, you'll not be getting that hard, right? Or you can prepare that as well. So now there is again in the technical round, there are 2 type of technical round. One is it's kind of, you can say it's kind of automated, right? So you basically, you're going to just, so the company use software like company like HackerRank and maybe the other company like Naukri and other company, they give the platform. So you they will be asking the questions and you would be given the time and you need to solve it during the time. Okay, so this is called, you can say that that's taken by the system, right? So maybe you need to turn on the camera. This is one of the things. And the second one is, which is the most easy one. So this is little difficult, I would say. The second one is somebody, maybe a manager is asking question and asking you to solve the problem. So when manager is asking you to solve the problem, they would not ask you to write 100% code. Okay, syntax by syntax. They would just try to understand, hey, let's say we have a sales where I have a category column and where I have kind of, product column and everything. I just want to see the sales by each category. Okay, and I just want you to find out the top 5 category with the lowest sale. So how are we going to do it? How are we going to write a SQL query? So here you can say that I can, so you know that, okay, we need to do a group by the category. So you can say I can do a group by the category, and then I can kind of, I will see each category and their sale. Then I can do an order by to kind of, filter out, I can say order by in ascending to select the category with the lower sale. And then I can use a limit to kind of, select the top lowest 5 category. Okay, so here you can, maybe you can write the code, maybe you will be sharing your screen and you will write the code. But even if you miss one syntax, that is also fine, because you're not going to run that code. You're not going to create the table because you don't have that time. Okay, they also have a limited time. So they would give you a problem. They would give you a column name. All you just need to showcase that how you will solve if you have this problem. Okay. So this is a little easy. I would say some people find it, this one easy, some people find it, this one easy, where there's a human, you're talking, and then you're trying to solve it. Why? Because mostly you will be getting easy, and maybe you can also get the difficult as well, but the chance you will be getting easy question more. Why? I will tell you. So this manager who's taking the interview, he would also ask you, like, at least if he's going to ask you 5 questions. So from the 5 questions, he's going to ask you like at least 3 question, which is called the most asked questions. Okay, most asked questions, which you can find it in my book, or you can find it in ChatGPT, or in kind of LinkedIn, the most asked SQL questions. It could be like the difference between union and union all. It could be like the difference between left join and full outer join. So this is something, the most asked, right? You should already know it. So if you get like 2 questions, so you have already created a positive impact. And then maybe they were going to ask you one group by or maybe window function. That's it. So you kind of, it has already increased your chance of, clearing, because when you solve 1 or 2 problem, you get, I would say you already create a good impressions, and somehow you stay motivated inside, and you kind of do rest of the question also you do it well. But if it's a system, you have a limited time. So sometime it's easy, sometimes it's difficult, because system will give you, depends how strict questions they have set, right? If they have set very strict, maybe it will give you very complex, I would also not able to solve. But if it is like they have again, so here also they don't ask you to solve 100%. Even if you have solved 80%, 70%, you will pass it. So again, that depends on the luck, how easy or how difficult question you get. Okay. So this is about the technical round. Now about the Python round, you will not get much very difficult, I would say. If you're just familiar with the basic concept, mostly it will be theoretical thing, like they will be asking, hey, can you replace a string, or maybe what is variable, or maybe some functions or lambda functions or something. So if you are prepared 100 most asked Python questions, so you're good to go. Mostly 2 to 3 questions you will be getting from here. I'll be getting this 100 questions and here as well also. Now then the manager round. Okay, let's talk about the manager round, right? So I think that's going to be our next topic, which is called a manager round. So here we talked about this point, which is called unable to solve the questions during the interview, right? So you just need to follow the same things. If you have kind of followed through this, and you know which are the questions you need to prepare and how things work, right? As I have very clearly mentioned, here is luck also works, like, and also your preparations. If you are prepared, it will already increase your chance of clearing the interview. If you're not prepared, obviously, it reduce your chance of kind of clearing through the interview. And if you're prepared, it increased to 90%. I can say if you're prepared, it increased by 90% of you to clear the interview, because 10% would always take place by the luck. So let's go ahead and see the next topic. If you have any doubt, anything, you can go ahead and ask me in the chat. And I'm still, going through the other similar doubt or questions that is asked by the other candidate. Okay, I will reply if I have, maybe I have already covered, but if I have not covered, I will reply later on. Okay. So mostly, if it is a system, so maybe they will be giving you 2 to 3 Python question, but mostly you will be getting from the most asked, maybe easy to medium. Like, yeah, look, loop, while functions, yeah, maybe while loop, and loop, variable, string functions, string manipulations. Okay, so a few of the things you just need to practice, and you'll be able to clear it. The most difficult one is the SQL. Okay, if you can clear the SQL, it already increase your chances. I have already mentioned that it will increase your chance like the maximum, because it's the most difficult one. And the Python and Excels, these are the easy one. Yeah, one more one, which is case study. So and the case study also play a critical role. That is how they judge you how quickly you can solve a business problems. Okay, so go to Google and maybe YouTube, try to find out case studies. I also have one book which I have included, which I will be giving it to you for completely free. So that has multiple case studies. So that's going to increase your problem solving, quick analysis, root cause analysis, and a lot of things. All I want you to kind of go through that book once you download that book. Okay, we'll talk about it in some time. So let's go ahead and now see unable to clear manager round. Now, what we can do it here. Okay, so already I've talked about it this, right? So the reason I have seen is because the manager will ask and try to verify things you have mentioned in the resume. Okay, now this is very important, right? Because you are in the last sections. And also, if you get rejected here, it's also very disheartened, and you will get hurt, right? So it's okay. And the thing is that how we can make it in our side. Okay, so the only one way I see it is that if you have prepared very well regarding your experience. Now I'm talking about the people who have experience. If you have prepared really well about your experience, no matter what you have done, just forget it. Before the interview, try to write down 5 points. Okay, that you think that if you are working as a data analyst, or you have already worked as a data analyst, that you have done 5 things. Okay, and let's say I created a dashboard. I can say that I created a dashboard, right? And I can say that to would be kind of Excel report. So try to find out 5 points, okay, that you have done, so that if manager asks you, hey, can you tell me 1 or 2 project about your this company or this company, then you can quickly explain. So that time, if you start thinking, okay, what I have done, okay, I have not done anything, and I need to now make a fake story, right? So that's where you are already spending time on thinking. And if you're trying to create a story at the same time, and obviously you would not be able to, you'll not be a great storyteller there, right? But if you have done your preparation in advance, you created a 5 story. Okay, maybe you have really done it, or you have just done some research. Sometimes people, they do it, but they forget it. So it's better to write down before the interview for each experience, at least for latest to experience, 5 points, or maybe you can say 5 project. Okay, so here you can say SQL projects for ad hoc or recursive business problems. Okay, some more depending on. Now if the manager asks you, can you explain what you have exactly done in your this XYZ company? Okay, XYZ company, then you have 5 points. Even if you forget 4 points, you can talk about 1 point. That's enough. Once you start talking about 1 point, you will automatically remember the second point. Maybe all these points are fake, right? But if you have prepared, you can tell at least little better, instead of without preparing, we don't know what to talk, and then you start thinking, and then you try to create a story. And obviously the manager is not dumb, right? So manager will be able to identify, okay, this guy is trying to create a story by just looking at your face. Okay, so this is the best practice. Try to try to research about your own company. Try to see what data analysts do, or if you're already working as a data analyst, what you have done. Even if you have just only worked for Excel, because there are so many data analysts who only work for Excel, they have never used SQL. But you need to kind of mention SQL as well also, because you cannot just mention one tool, because you have mentioned SQL in the resume. So try to create a SQL project, showcase that I have created SQL projects where I was solving some business problems, where I was responsible for just solving quick business problems by the managers. And so they want to know what is the last 1 hour sale. I was working for Blinkit, and they wanted to know what is the last 1 hour sale. Now for the last 1 hour sale, nobody is going to create a dashboard. So what is the best way? Because the sales are stored in the database. So you write a SQL query that goes to the database, and you get the response, and you share that with the manager, right? Manager is happy, you are happy. So for this is called ad hoc, right? So this is called ad hoc. For this ad hoc reporting or for this ad hoc problems, you use a SQL or maybe Excel, right? So try to find out 5 points. You have ChatGPT as a best friend. You can use it. And once you have 5 points, then you can talk about it. This is going to increase your chance of clearing the manager round. So only if you have done the research. Now, one research would be about your company, your experience, and your skills that you have mentioned, because the manager would maybe they will ask, hey, you have mentioned as a SQL, right? They ask, hey, what is the rating you would give it to yourself out of 1 to 10? So don't just tell that 10 or don't just tell 4. So always tell something maybe 7 to 8 if you're really good at it, or I can say kind of 8 to 9 if you're really good at it, right? So here, if you're, let's say you're good, but here you're really, really good. That means you need to know everything, 90% things here. So if you rate yourself maybe 7 to 8, which is the best number, and you can always say that they may say, hey, why it's 8, why not 10? So you can say that I'm still learning some of the things, maybe procedures or maybe PLSQL or maybe store, maybe kind of recursive CT or something. Okay. So something that you're learning, which is a little complex, you can mention it. So a manager knows, okay, this guy is honest. So I'm going to ask you questions regarding window functions, right? Because he has mentioned this point. Okay. So this is research about your skills and the research about your experience. Now, the third thing would be not that much effective nowadays, but little research about the company which you are applying and the JD, right? So whatever they have mentioned in the JD, just try to go through it. Let's say they have mentioned SQL, and they have mentioned BI, okay? They have mentioned something else, and research means just not just read the JD job description, right? Research means search about the company in LinkedIn, okay, and try to find out already working data analyst, business analyst, okay. Try to chat with them, okay. No matter they feel bad about it, it's okay. You can say, hey, my name is this, and I have just applied for your company, and I got this interview calls, and I know I can see that you are already working in this company, so I would really appreciate if you can just help me with the one of or two questions. Reach out to 2 to 3 people. Maybe one people will definitely reply, no matter how busy is there, because everyone is trying to help each other here, right? Because now we are in a very challenging time. So everyone try to help, and you also do the same thing if you get the job. So they will help and they will say, don't worry, they're just going to ask this things, or this many interviews going to be, you need to be very prepared like this. I have got multiple response whenever I have interview. I used to reach out to people's. So I sometimes I feel shy, but I sometimes feel like no matter, I don't care if they, whatever they're going to think about me, I'm going to ask. If they don't reply, it's okay. If they reply, so I get the response, right? So I don't lose anything here, right? So these two things: experience, research about your experience, what you're going to talk about if the manager is going to ask you some questions, experience about your skills, which is here, I'll just put it here, okay, and experience about the company, okay. Sorry, research about the company. So these three things will increase your chance of clearing the manager round. Okay, now the best would be going through and asking somebody who's already working in the company as soon as you get the invite. Okay. So any questions, anyone, you can share in the chat box. Let's go ahead and see the next topic, which is the most, I would say, most entertain or most asked, topic. So here I'll be very honest. Okay. Now I've seen people fake it, they get a job. Okay. Some people they don't get a job. Okay, now it's on you how you want to go about it. Fake it doesn't mean that you, for a company, you're directly mentioning that, hey, I have a experience for IBM, right? Data analyst. So that's not the right. They can verify it, and that could be a problem, right? But let's say if you are working in a company, as I already have given you example, if you are a process analyst or a process associate, you want to showcase as a data analyst. So go about it, do it, right? If you have some colleague already working there, you can say that, hey, I need a favor. So if I'm kind of giving an interview, and if I get an opportunity, so we can take a break. Let's say in the next 5 minutes. Okay, then we can continue. Thanks for reminding. So here, after this point, we can take a break. Then we will be continuing with the learning tools. Okay. So here, what you can do is that you can mention as a data analyst, business analyst, finance analyst. Okay. So sometimes you're working as a data analyst, and if you're already working as a data analyst. Okay. And let's say you are applying for a business intelligence or Power BI developer. So you don't have to kind of manipulate things, because in data analyst, if somebody is already having data domain experience, they would consider it. But it's something little different like process associate or something, then you can change it. But again, you need to keep in mind that if you change it, it can, it can be, bad news as well, right? So you can just consider it accordingly. Now, the people who do not have experience, now this is for the people who already have experience in the non-domain. I would say the people who do not have a data experience, right? So for them, this is the advice that I have given. Now for the people who don't have experience, for you can either do internship, which the free internship that you have already seen earlier, and you can apply for a role for 1 to 3 year experience. Okay. Now this will not be guaranteed, but maybe you will be getting out of 10, maybe you can maybe get one interview call. Okay. Or maybe apply for internship, paid internship, or apply for the job where the company have not mentioned any experience. Because if you go through LinkedIn, there are many posts that is being shared by somebody, and just try to verify it. And company do hire for fresher as well. Now 90% companies are hiring for experience, but 10% companies are also hiring for freshers. So target at least a few companies, go to their I can say go to their career page, and try to see if they are hiring for any data analyst, or try to contact their HR and send your resume upfront. From your side, you will be sending the resume to HR. You will be sending the resume to the employee who are already working. Because if they forward your resume, even if you're a freshers, maybe the HR will consider. So sometimes they have a requirement, they don't post it in LinkedIn. They get a resume internally, and they try to kind of give a call and maybe give a schedule interview. Okay. So this is what it is. Now, two things I have talked about here. One is if you have no relevance experience, and one is you have no experience. See, is specific domain knowledge necessary for freshers? So for freshers, I would not say it's not necessary. Domain knowledge means, I hope you know, right? Let's say you're applying for, what kind of domains are there? We have domains like, you can say, e-commerce, right? We have domains like, let's say, inventory management, which is part of e-commerce. Okay. Then we have healthcare, right? We have insurance, and different domains. I have given you that example, the virtual internship. If you kind of do those project, you will be getting the idea how things work in different domain. Because all different domain, you will be getting the project there, like cars as well, you can see. Okay. So from there, you can get the experience, right? Okay, how Flipkart works. Now, majorly for the e-commerce, you already know how Flipkart works. They have sales, they have return, they have marketing, right? The company earn money by doing marketing, where the sellers basically, they charge a seller by kind of promoting their product, and then they kind of charge commissions. Then they have a line of business called maybe providing loan to the people who buy things in EMI. So these are the things, right? You already know it. All you just need to do a little bit research about each domain. The best thing would be, again, ChatGPT. Go to ChatGPT before the interview, even if you have no experience, no domain knowledge. Go to ChatGPT and say, hey, can you just do a detailed research about this company and just tell me each and everything, right? You got to know everything in just one research. You can use a DeepSeek as well, or ChatGPT as well. You got to know about things. Or you can do a one projects and you learn things, all right? So all these projects, you get it from this virtual internship. Okay. Any other doubt, anyone? Or we can take a break, and then we are going to continue. Okay. After the break, it's going to be a 15-minute break, and then we're going to continue. Okay. Anyone has any doubt, you can directly unmute yourself and you can ask. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. I'll take
I'm
just two
asking
out. Okay, yeah.
asking that how can we like fake the experience if we don't have any experience?
You cannot fake the experience, right? Because if you fake the experience, that's not going to be legal, right? If you do not have an experience, then as I said that you can do in virtual internship. You can reach out for the people they are working in that company, and you can say, hey, is there any internship is available? If they are not replying, reach out to somebody else. Try to apply for their role, which need no experience or maybe 1 to 3 year experience. And yeah, this is what I can do, right? You cannot directly just fake it, right? But
So
yeah, if
I'm
you have somebody in
like
a company, they're able to verify it, then you can do it, right? But if obviously the company is going to verify it, right? If there is you cannot directly mention that I work IBM as a data analyst, because they will verify it, and you will be wasting your time then, right?
no, I mean like for some small companies we can do it, right? Where companies they don't have that much credible, and we can mention those companies, and then we can just have a brief research about the company and then we do it.
So they will verify it, right? If you mention XYG company, if the company exists, so somebody is definitely going to check, right? See, again,
Hmm.
that's depend on you. That's depend on you. If you want to do it, you can do it. If they're going to check it, so maybe after even doing clearing everything, and then maybe you will not get the job. But again, there's sometimes the company doesn't directly check it. They just take a reference, maybe, and then they try to kind of go it for forward like that way. So again, that's on you how you wanna showcase it. That's obviously going to increase the chance of getting calls. But again, maybe the job would depends on the luck sometime, right?
Okay, and one more question, like is Power BI is that much mandatory? Like I'm comfortable with SQL and Python, but I'm not comfortable with Power BI. I
So
have
we will talk about that in the next, which is the skills that is necessary. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Anyone else? Any doubt? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I have not
Yeah.
like I have 1.4 years of experience as a PL SQL
mhm.
developer. But right now I
Okay.
have quit my job. It's been a month. So when I'm checking in Naukri or anywhere in LinkedIn, it's requiring minimum 2 years of experience. Like when I got a job call for Infosys also, it was asking
Mhm.
minimum 2 years of experience. Then how should I convert my 1.4 to 2 years of experience by adding some internship or anything like that?
So I think for you, so if the
Yeah,
company is mentioning 2 years, because yeah, that's going to increase the chance if you have a 2 years, 1.5
yeah,
years
exactly.
again, then you need to filter out the job where they're looking for 1 to 3 year experience. So some company would consider, I would not say every company would just mention that, okay, we need strictly 2 years. Maybe the company like Infosys, if they have somewhere specific requirement that we need somebody who is more than 2 years, and sometimes the company mentioned 1 to 3 years. So for those companies, you can apply. And the second way is that even if you mention internship, that's
Yeah.
good. You can say that internship for some company, right? So for that, again, you know, to find a company, and then you can see, how you're going to mention it, right? So maybe that's
Yeah,
one of the way you can showcase.
what I'm asking, like I can give 8 months of experience as an internship,
hmm
and rest 1.4 or 5 months of experience as a real time project in a company. So can I add both of the experience and I can write 2 years of hands on experience?
So if you mention 2 years of experience, you need to mention XYG company internship 8 month, XYG company
Uh,
1.4 years experience, right? You will mention that way,
yeah. And
right?
right now I have a 1 month of gap since I have completed in
So
11th
that's
March
fine.
only.
That's even
Yeah.
if you have 1 month of gap, it doesn't matter, right? So I have 3 year, three
If
month gap.
recruiter, yeah, yeah, sometimes recruiter is asking why. So what should I
So you
respond
can
to
tell,
that?
if they say why, you can tell that I have been applying for jobs. Now I guess the job market is a little tough. I have been applying and not hearing back, and consistently I'm learning the new tools and technologies, and I'm applying. So I just need your help, right? You have the positions, and you can give me a chance. So yeah, that'll be great, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like that.
One
Yeah,
last
it could be
question.
questions like why you quit. Yeah.
Yeah. One last question. Like right now, if I am getting 3 LPA in my past company, they are asking what is your expected salary. So how much far I can go? Like expected salary should be how much percent by my current salary? What
So
should I tell?
it's not about the percent. I would say again, depending on the company, right? So sometime the company would give 8 LPA, right? Maybe 11 LPA, right? So if you join directly, let's say Mintra, they would directly give you 8 LPA for freshers and maybe 11 to 12 or 13 to 1 year experience, right? If you go for Amazon, they can give up to 35. Uh, but again, their interview would be different, right? But for normal skill company, you can say that I'm expecting at least 5 to 6, or maybe based on the industrial experience because you know the expenses, right? And you can also say that I have also upskilling myself. I have also upskilled myself with the new tools and experience, and I think this is fair, right? So even if you say that I am looking for something like 8 LPA, so if they say that okay, why it's like 200 300% extra, so you can say that I have already upskilled myself with this and this. You can showcase some of your proficiency, and then you can say that again, they know the expenses has increased, right? So
Yes.
with experience, you can expect it's not wrong or there is no right. So if the company have the budget, if they like your profile, they will give it to you.
Okay. You also have a one broadcast channel on Instagram. I've been following from last 1 year. Right now, you are not posting any job opportunity like that. Is there anything?
So right now, I will be starting posting again. So right now I'm not posting. So because I have a hectic little busy schedule right now, and most probably, within a month or so, I will start posting again. So you will
Oh,
see some new opportunity. Okay.
okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. So
Hello.
let's take a break for the people who want to take a break, or they can resume by, let's say, by uh, 10. And I will stay. So anyone who have a doubt, you can ask, and I will stay for another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And the rest of
Hello.
you can resume who do not have any doubt by 10. Yeah.
Yeah, hello. Nazir.
Hi. Yes.
Yeah, hi. This is Sheikh. I have currently around 5 years of experience in healthcare domain. Although I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to move to data career for a long time, so I've taken a course from one of the institutes here and there from Bangalore.
Which
So
institute?
they are kind of BA centric.
Okay.
I think I did reach out to you regarding the 90 days challenge, the course. So for me, it is kind of like I want to start from the scratch.
Got it.
So I think for that, yeah, for that I think
That's
the
okay.
catch is to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, catch is to start from the scratch. So I didn't know. So right now I've taken a
Mm-hmm.
BA centric class. So I've been, continuously like from my schedule, like I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
my job. As I said, like
Correct.
I've been into healthcare for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm going to my job. Apart from that, I'm collecting almost like 4 hours a day for this study. So what do you think? How much time it will take for me to just crack like SQL, Power BI, and Python?
Mm-hmm. So how much the
Also I'm not from the tech background.
got it, got it. So how much is
Yeah.
your the how much what is the duration of the course that you have enrolled, right?
Yeah, so they've been telling me we will be completing this within like 3 months.
Okay.
But I am doubting that because like coming from a non-tech background guy
Mm-hmm.
and entering into data, it will take much more time than this. So what do you think?
So I think, see, again, I think we will talk about the skills, like what you should know in for which role and how much you should know. So I think your this doubt is going to be clear. But if you if you spend even 2 to 3 hours a day, and I think like if you just follow a consistency of, let's say, 5 day in a week, let's say for 5 day you're spending 2 hours or 3 hours. Okay, that means it's going to be 15 hours a week, right? So within two
Yeah.
months you can learn SQL. You can be very good at it. You can also learn Excel and Power BI. So within 2 months or maximum 3 months, you would be really good. Okay, you will be completing.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what is their module or what they're teaching you. So again, I
Our
have no clue.
module
But
is totally focused on BA. Like mostly, I talk to my stakeholders. Like
got it.
I'll have arrangements with my manager meetings and all. So based on
Oh.
my skill, like I play with Excel and all also daily basis. I talk to
Mm-hmm.
my team. I have already I already have a team. Like I'm handling it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I got
based on
it.
all of these skills, like got into BA, that is business analyst. So
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know. I'm not grasping that very soon. That is what I think right now. Based like I've completed almost like 15 days here in the BA centric. So I've like I am understanding everything. It's not like I'm not understanding. It's just that when it comes to questions, what do you call the interview questions? That is where I'm like struggling to write the codes on my own.
Yeah. See, I think you're a little too early to, judge yourself for that. So I would just say that keep learning. Okay. As soon as you learn, then do projects and then solve interview questions. And that is how you learn, right? You don't just, from the starting only, you cannot just solve, right? First, you have to learn the tools and then you kind of try to do projects and then you solve problems. You solve interview questions, and this is how you learn. Without knowing the things, you cannot solve problems, right? First you know the things, then you kind of do some projects and see how practically the companies are using that, and then you kind of uh, you know you try to judge yourself maybe by giving a questions to you or maybe try to solve a problem, right?
Yeah, so it's like every day we are solving questions. Like for me, it's like we have completed the single row functions, we have completed DML, DDL, we have completed aggregation functions. All of these we have completed. But the problem is like I could able to understand DML, DDL because I can relate to it because adding something, deleting something, it's like completely correlated with
So
Excel
I
and all.
think, yeah, just to cutting you off. So I think that you need to practice, right? If you practice, then you can first one day you will feel uncomfortable, and after some time you will feel comfortable. So all you just need to do, like keep practicing, keep learning, and don't just judge yourself. Don't limit yourself. Okay, this is what I would only advise, and you'll be in a good shape. Okay, and we will also talk about the skills that you need to know.
Okay, yeah, that's what.
So I think that's going to be clear. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So based
Okay.
on BA role, is it uh,
So I
am I
think we
going
will talk
like,
about we'll talk about the BA. I think if you have any doubt regarding that, we can talk about it later on. Okay. So we're going to talk
sure,
about the
sure.
BA role. Okay.
Thanks.
So anyone
Thanks.
else
Thank you.
any doubt? Thank you. I'll just take one more doubt, and I think I'll just take a quick 5 minute break. Okay. Anyone else quickly? Any doubt? Okay, no problem. So let's resume at 10. Okay. So let's take a break till 10. I mean, if you're already in breaks, so that's great. So I'll be resuming by 10. Okay. See you. Hello, everyone. So let's continue. I hope my voice is audible. Can anyone of you confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
you're audible.
perfect. So yeah, thank you so much. And anyone else have any doubt? So you can just write in the chat box, okay? And I will just read it and clear it. Okay. So let's continue with the remaining topics. So right now we have talked about how to work out with no experience and non-relevant experience. Right now, again, you can do whatever you find best, right? And again, you just need to make yourself ready with that. For the people who don't have a direct experience but are already working in a company, should they mention? Mm, yeah, you can mention that as a project or virtual experience for data, but whatever your direct experience you have, right? So that you can mention, but try to manipulate the points. Okay. Try to add the points that even if you are not directly working as a data analyst, even if you're working as a process analyst consultant, you can say that I have used as Excel for maybe analyzing, some of the my company's data or something, right? I have used pivot tables as well. So somehow you can relate those points, redirect those to data related things because nobody is going to verify point to point. So somehow they would know, okay, you somehow use the Excel, right? Then you can say, meantime, I was kind of, so I got interested in data domain and I started learning SQL. So I did some projects. So, so this is how you can kind of showcase your proficiency. Okay. So even if you do not have a direct related profile, you can still showcase like Excel's or maybe a little bit of their dashboard, right? So you can say that there was a project of creating dashboard, though it was directly not my profile, but I got a because I already learned Power BI in the past, and then I kind of took the lead and I kind of created the dashboard for my company. Okay, so this is how you can showcase it. Okay, in the points you can keep the same as the experience, let's say the role, but the points you can manipulate, right? So just try to mention as a data. If in case which is not related to data, you don't need to mention that points, but points related to data you can mention. Okay. All right, so the most hot topic, let's go ahead and see what are the, again, the career options you have here in the data, right? So these are the most popular and I would say most demanding. We also have a reporting analyst, MIS. I have not mentioned it because those are not that much demanding, and demand for this role would be there even after AI, after 5 years, and after I think 10 years also. So let's start with one by one and let's see for each of these which tools you need to learn. Now I have to add all of this here. It took a lot of time. So let's see how and which tools we need for what role. Now you can target one of them and then you can kind of keep on learning things. Okay. So here I have organized it separately. Most common you will see Excel's and Power BI and somewhere SQL. So these are the major, you would say core skills I have added. There are a lot of other skills maybe would be there. I have not added, but these are the core skills which I have added. So you have seen Excel and Power BI or maybe SQL is almost pretty much in every role. For just business analyst, maybe you will not need SQL, but nowadays, some company also ask for SQL, basic level at least. Okay. So let's first go ahead and see for the data analyst. This is the one role where you may need everything. Okay. I'll be very honest. I worked as a data analyst. I worked as a senior data analyst. I have used everything. So maybe for data analyst, and just for applying, you do not need everything, but maybe you will need to learn everything once you get the job and you need to get going depending on how large the farm is, how large the project is, right? If there is less people, maybe you need to learn the big data technology as well, which I had to do for me. And you may need to learn kind of the cloud as well, right? So here the core skills I have mentioned, let's try to understand what each of these role they do. And then we will see the skills. Okay, so the data analyst you already know. So turns raw data into insight using analysis and visualization. So basically they analyze the data and bring some insight. Okay, so if I give a real example, let's say if you're working in a company like maybe Amazon, okay, and if your line of business is, see, if you're working in Amazon, it doesn't mean you're handling everything. Maybe sometime, but mostly you will be only assigned one line of business. Let's say maybe just improving their return, right? Creating something that help them to reduce the return or identify something, which I have already given example earlier, right? So maybe your job is just to create dashboard or just to create reports or maybe just to run SQL query and pull up some data and then do some analysis report to your managers based on what requirement you receive it. Okay, so here the core thing is going to be SQL. So it's a mandatory. You need to know SQL. So here I have added SQL is the skills that you need must. Okay. Then Excel is must. You need to know Excel. Mostly sometimes if you just have SQL and Excel, some company will hire you. Okay. You can get a data analyst job if you just have, if you're really good with Excel and SQL. I have another slides where I will tell what exactly you need to learn. Okay. So if you already know it, you can learn rest of the things. So data visualizations you can do in Excel and you can do in Power BI or Tableau. So Power BI is if you're using Windows and Tableau is kind of, I would not recommend, but Power BI one I would recommend because 90% company in India will prefer Power BI because it's a more you can say more of the other tool because more of Windows friendly and because most of the company are using Fabric, Microsoft Azure, so it's kind of in their family only. They get it free for packages or maybe $10. Okay, for W they need to build a completely different solutions. Yeah, big yeah, that's the point. Strong community as well, support as well. So all company they have Excel, right? 365. So they already have a tie-up with Microsoft. They would just add Azure or maybe Power BI if they need it. So for Tableau, they need to build a new contract, sign up with, build other data pipeline. So it's a more you can say they more their it fits more into their need. Okay. So now then Python, in Python you don't have to know much for data analyst. Fourth thing you need to know. One is kind of the pandas. You need to be very good with pandas. Okay. Pandas is basically the library that you use to clean the data, to extract or maybe create a new columns, which is called transform or you can say feature engineering. Okay, so pandas you need to know and NumPy to kind of create a series, create a data set working with the numbers and so this is where you need to do a little bit of NumPy, not too much, but yeah, pretty much you need to be very good with pandas and let's say intermediate level experience with NumPy is fine because NumPy is more related the machine learning or data scientists, they need NumPy more. You just need to have the basic array and all those things. Okay. Plotly is dying. I would not say it's that important. You'll never, very rare that you will use Plotly. Okay, because Plotly is it takes kind of really extra space. Not company really prefer Plotly. They would do a dashboard if they need to visualize something in Excel or maybe Power BI. Okay, once you clean the data because it's not that much interactive. Okay, compared to Power BI or maybe Excel if they want to visualize it. Business requirement, basically you need to have the domain knowledge. Okay, so like if you are working for a company like maybe Amazon, you need to know what are their key business, what are their KPI, right? Maybe return or maybe all those things. You need to kind of have some idea about the business, what they do, what are the things that impact their, you can say business, right? What drive their business, correct? So with the basic this knowledge, business requirement knowledge, basic level and good knowledge with SQL, Excels and data visualization tool one, not mandatory, but yeah, if it is, then it's great. And Python is just again optional. Without Python also you can get a data analyst job. Once you get a job, you can keep on learning. Okay, or you can learn before just the basic pandas and NumPy. Yeah, one more library which is not mentioned here, which is called Seaborn. So you can add it here, Matplot and Seaborn. Okay, so I will just mention it as called Matplot and SNS. Okay, so these are two data visualization library which you can additionally learn for visualizing the data. Okay, let's go ahead and see the data engineer. Then what does data engineer does? So we got to know, okay, data analyst basically get a data it visualize it, bring insight, and help the business stakeholders like the managers or maybe the founder or the owner to take a decisions. Then what does data engineer does? So data engineer builds the data pipelines. That means we talk about it, what you need to learn first. Okay, so data engineer does build the data pipelines. What does it mean? That means when you are setting a company or when you are setting a project, let's say Amazon starting their, I hope you know Amazon started their business as a selling book online 19, I guess 98. Then they decided that hey, we're gonna sell the product on our website, right? Like any product, maybe electronic category. So that's where they hire data engineer. Data engineer told them, hey, if you need to sell a product on our website, you need to first tell all the category, all the product name, and then maybe supplier, seller. So it data engineer created data pipeline. That means it has created 5 tables, build the relationship, and then designed a lot of things, and then kind of created the structure, store the data in warehouse, and basically it built the data pipelines, and it warehouse the data, store the data, retrieve the data. So all these things are done by data engineer. So data engineer basically does everything and gives the data to this data analyst. Okay. And also it gives the data to business analyst. It also gives the data to Power BI developer. It also gives the data to business intelligence. So data engineer basically at jobs to maintain the data. If you have any data requirement, you go to the data engineer, you ask it, and the data engineer gives it to you. If you need it in a different format, you ask it, they give it to you. So they store it in a big data tools, maybe shared computer clusters, maybe a Spark or Hadoop. They build ETL pipelines, whatever they do it. So they gives the data, right? Yeah, I can say as a data provider. I would not say as a data provider, but yeah, you can say that as a data provider. So, again, depending how the large the company is. So if you have a requirement, you create a requirement with them, and then they store the data in a location which is accessible by you, maybe in a S3 bucket. Okay, S3 bucket is a computer, let's say in the cloud, AWS computer, there's a folder called S3, and there's a folder maybe called maybe data team, okay, D1. And they put it there by using an ETL pipeline. So automatically 8 a.m. every day, they put the data here using ETL pipeline, and you reach office by 9, you get the data from that and you do your task, whatever you want to do. And whatever they do, they build all this pipeline. So here, the most important skill is SQL, then it's Python, then for big data technologies, because now every company have the data, which is huge. So they use Spark and they use Azure, maybe AWS or GCP, okay, depending on the company. So GCP, okay. So for the data engineering, if you are targeting data engineering, so you need to be very, very good with Python or Scala or and also SQL. And gradually you can learn maybe Airflow, Kafka, okay. And the data warehousing. I have not mentioned a lot of things here, but these are the core skills as I said. Big data, like how do you store data in a shared computer as clusters. You also need to learn the Hadoop, which is an old technology. Now we use Spark. So you can imagine, if I give an example of Spark, would be like, let's say you have a data. How much is the storage of your computer, right? In a computer, maximum we can say that in my machine I have it, I think 512 GB, and one PC I have 1 TB. See, I can have a maximum 10 TB, right? Maybe I think 10 would be the max based on my processors. Let's say that I go for 50 TB, right? So 50 TB I can go for one machine, correct? What if we want to store a file that is, let's say 1000 TB? Okay, 1000 TB. Now what kind of file it could be? It could be a kind of billion of Instagram comments, right? It can be more than 1000 TB. One day Instagram receive it. So basically they cannot store it uh, in one PC, right? So that's where they use a shared, you can say shared cluster. That means there are 1000 PCs connected together, and then they store the data in a shared, you can say cluster. So out of 1000 TB, maybe 100, 10 TB will be stored in one PC, then 10 another, 10 another, 10 another. They also create a backup, right? So this is where they use a Spark. Usually earlier they used to use a Hadoop. Okay. Now, so all the computer talk with each other whenever you need something. Let's say out of 1000 terabyte, you just want to know what is the post that is done by zero analyst. So obviously you have to go through each and every row in 1000 terabyte, which will take ages if you are using SQL to find out. And obviously it's not in one computer, so you have to go through one by one by one by one computer. So 1000 employee need to assign, and then you get to know, okay, zero analyst posted this post, and this is the number of likes or comments they have received. Now, if you have a Spark, it will be kind of, you can say, 1000 times or maybe a million times faster than the traditional system storing. So here, data engineer, as a data engineer, you need to learn Spark. Maybe in the data analyst also, you need to learn Spark or Hadoop. Depends on the company, but for the, I would say for the normal role, you don't have to learn it. Even if you get a job, then you can learn this. These are the additional big data technologies. Okay, so I learned Hadoop in my first projects, which is back in 2019, and then I had to learn Spark as well because Hadoop was it's old. And Hadoop use basically the you could say memory processing. So let's say if there are like 1000 computer like this, okay, they use kind of cheap memory, right? The less expensive memory. So they store the data, few data here, few data here, few data here, few data here, few data here. So Hadoop is a framework which basically store the informations, everything like which data is stored here, which data is stored here, which data is stored here, which is stored here. Okay, so if you need something, you cannot go and check one by one storage, right? So they are connected with each others. You just go to Hadoop and you run a query which is called Hive, same as like SQL. Okay, and then Hive is going to kind of you write a SQL query. You want to see which is the post that is done by zero analyst. So there are out of, let's say, 1000 terabytes. So Hadoop is going to kind of do the research and get you the post that is done by zero analyst, how many likes and whatever you want to know. So here, usually we used to use Hadoop. I mean, still there are some bank and the company they use Hadoop, but Hadoop is doing Hadoop does, which is called, the storage. They would do the processing here, okay, which is in this kind of, you can see in this storage. Hadoop will do the processing in the clusters. Okay, let's say this is the cluster here. Now we have something called Spark, which is you can say 1000 times or maybe I think more than 10,000 times faster than Hadoop, which follows the same thing, which is built on above Hadoop by the same, which is Apache foundations. Now Spark basically does in-memory processing. So instead of storing the data in the memory, then try to find out where what is stored, then it does the processing in a RAM, which we call in memory. Okay, so RAM processing is much faster. So that's the reason companies are now shifting to Spark. I mean, 90% company has already shifted. But even if you want to learn Spark, you need to first learn Hadoop. It's very, very important. Without the Hadoop architecture, you cannot learn Spark because Spark is also part of Hadoop. So again, you can learn more of this. I may start a data engineering series in the futures, maybe after a few months. But yeah, I would also start a series on Azure technologies very, very soon, maybe in just 1 or 2 months down the line after I complete maybe the SQL few videos. Okay, and maybe AWS as well. Then you need to learn cloud because obviously when you get the data, you need to store in the cloud, right? Maybe in a S3 bucket or maybe in a Azure data factory. Okay, so wherever you want to store it, you're going to store it in the cloud because obviously that big data, if you're less out of this, if you're getting, let's say 100 TB, you cannot store in a machine, right? You need to store in a cloud, maybe cloud PC. I mean, you can store a machine, but that will be switch off. That will be sometime will not work, that will lose the data. Even if it is a 10 terabyte, company would not want you to store in the local machine. All the server that you need to run, all the script that you need to run must be stored in a server because if your system is not working, somebody from any system, you just log into the cloud and you access your file and you kind of do your analysis, whatever you're building. Even if you are building a dashboard, you don't host it in your local machine. You host it in the server so that anyone can use it. If you host it in your computer, nobody can use it, right? There is a manager who wanna use it. There is a CEO who wanna use it. So you would host it in the server. It can be PowerBI services. It can be AWS. It can be cloud, right? So again, here you need to learn the cloud. Here also you need to learn cloud based on once you join. Now it's not the initial requirement. But for the experienced people, maybe it's an initial requirement you can check. And if you do not know, you can start with Azure because it's super easy and the UI is great and it's easy to learn. Okay, I also have the resources. I will show that in the next slide. Okay. Yeah, so data warehousing is the same, right? Data warehousing is part of cleaning, transforming, then you kind of store the data, kind of structured way, right? Azure can also be used as a virtual machine. So, to understand, when you talk about cloud, okay, let's go to a new slide. So here we're talking about cloud, right? So what does it mean by cloud? Let me just explain, right? So this is a very interesting topic. So I think I will explain this now, even if the session extend by 10-20 minutes, I would just request you to bear with me. Okay. So this is a system. Okay. This is a PC. This is my physical PC. Okay. And this is a PC which is in cloud. Okay. PC. So let's say I have created a dashboard and I have shown that to my managers. Just have a look, and this is the sales. This is something. Okay, this is a report I have created. Okay, and manager was really happy, and manager was just sitting next to me, so I've shown it, right? So next day, let's say I'm not there in the office, right? So manager want to see the report. So obviously my system is not there. It's a desktop, it's off. So they would not able to kind of see it, right? So here there's a multiple way. Okay. I can directly host it I can create a virtual machine here in this cloud, and I can host it in the virtual machine. Okay. That's one of the way. So virtual machine is you can say the same PC. You will need anyone need to access it. They need to use SSH. Okay. Again, I'll not go in that deep, but you can say they would need a login credential. So you can directly use maybe some service provider, like maybe PowerBI service providers. You don't need virtual machine. You just need to host it in their cloud, like same as Google Drive. Okay. So in Google Drive also it's a virtual, you can say it's a virtual computer, but you don't have that all those things. They maintain their login and everything. You just put your data or dashboard here, and you give the link to your managers or whoever want to use it. They use it from here. Okay. So that's again part of cloud. Now virtual machine, it's a part of, you can say, it's a part of the cloud technologies, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I think we're talking about the virtual machine. So okay, if you are using virtual machines in this machine, okay, so you need to understand here in this machine you have created a virtual machines. I mean, I also have created Linux, right, in here. So everything is working smoothly. My laptop is switched off. Do you think that if my laptop is switched off, a manager, which is from here, they can access from this virtual machines? No, obviously, because laptop is switched off. So for this virtual machine to work, I have to be make sure that that laptop is on and that server is active. Then only they can access it, right? So virtual machine, it just you can say it just you have created a one more OS. That's it. Okay, so let's go to the next topic, which will be kind of again coming back to the business analyst. Okay, so for data analysts, you have to kind of consider all of these things. Again, these are the core skills. You need to learn more and more and more things. Like again, a lot of more things here, but these are the core skills. Core skills is that if you have Python, SQL, and maybe cloud, and one of the big data technologies, you are good to apply for data engineering role. Let's go to the business analyst. So for the business analyst, we have the most important, which is requirement gathering and documentation. I think this is the documentations. Okay. So what does it requirement gathering? So there are two type of business analysts we have. One, people who are business analysts, they're working as a data analyst. I don't know, but the company call it business analyst because they also do some requirement gathering. Sometimes as a data analyst also, you will be working the task of business analyst. You will do requirement gathering, you will be documenting, you will be documentations, you will do create dashboard, do everything. Okay. So usually in earlier, the business analyst was corely regarding SDLC, which is called software development lifecycle. Okay. Let's say they created there is a new software requirement. Let's say there's Amazon is saying that, hey, we want to start a new dashboarding project. So as a business analyst, you will work with the project managers and you will talk with the stakeholders, try to find out what are the new features they need, what are the things you need, you document everything. And then you maybe pull up some data, you do some analysis. You don't directly create dashboard here. This was used to be. and then you kind of connect with the software engineering team, and then you again tell them the things. Then you kind of work back and forth, and kind of software team develop the project. Then you do a testing with the testing team. I do documentations. It's very, very important. You document everything. So more, you just need to have here requirement gathering skills and documentation skills. Now, these are the skills you will only have it once you work on the real project. So to get a business analyst a role, entry level role getting is a little difficult, but if you have SQL and Excels and little bit of good communications, and you can get a job in the business analyst, maybe a little bit of data visualizations. So once you have experience, you would have obviously requirement gathering, you would have experience with documentation, other business requirement. So it will be easy for you to get a business analyst role, because as I said, very less company would want to give you a project to somebody who's a freshers. Okay. Now this is about the business analyst. Let's go ahead and see the most favorite one, which is the Power BI developer. Okay. So by the name, Power BI developer, it's super easy that obviously we have to be very, very good with Power BI, right? So you have to be very good with the DEX. You have to be good with the Power Query, which is the data cleaning and everything. And then you have to be good with the data modeling, performance tuning. You have to good with the Excels. You have to good with the SQL as well here. You have to good with the report optimizations, and maybe mix of other cloud. And right now, I think one more I have not mentioned, which is called Fabric. Okay, Fabric, and also Power BI services and everything. You need to know all this thing, which get easy by job, BA job or DA scope. And the BA job salary is better, higher. Business analyst salary start from 10 to 15 LPA. Maybe it can be 50 LPA as well, depending on if you have a really good experience. But it's a little hard to kind of get, I would say, business analyst a role. Minimum, I would say, if your company is hiring for even freshers, they will give it at least 8 LPA. Why? Because you will be working with directly founder. If it's a startup, or if it's a kind of, you can say, big company, like maybe a very big company, then you will be working directly with the maybe the managers or maybe the country head as well. Okay. And they will only hire the people who have really great experience, or maybe really good educations background as well, maybe the top tier college, something like this. Okay. So next, let's focus on this. So here you just need to learn more of Power BI. Need to build, if you really love creating dashboard, and if you just love Power BI, then this is the one that you choose. Okay, if you love everything, then go for data analyst. If you learn more of writing coding, then go for data engineering. If you are kind of scared of writing code, but if you're really good with the communications, and yeah, then you can go for the business analyst. If you have already worked as a data analyst, then you can also go for a business analyst. Okay. So here, if you kind of like creating dashboards and everything, Power BI, and if you love SQL, you want to learn more Fabric Cloud, then go for developers. Okay. Last one is the most, I would say, the most favorite one, which is the business intelligence. And this is the recent experience. Okay, so business intelligence is, you can say, same of Power BI. You will be working as a Power BI developer as well here. You will be working as a business analyst. You will be working as a data analyst. You will be working as a data engineer. Sorry, data engineer and data analyst. So business intelligence, as a business analyst, you need to work off all this role. Okay. Now the funny thing is that here, when you will be hired, let's say when you will be applying, the requirement, they would not mention everything. Yeah, maybe they will mention everything, but they would not strictly check each and everything. So it's only if you have some experience, then you can kind of go for business intelligence. So this business intelligence also, you can say, senior Power BI developer. Okay. So here you would need to know the cloud technologies. I have not mentioned it, but yes, you need to know cloud technologies, because you can see here we do have data warehousing, and we do have data ETL processes as well, data pipelines as well. You need to know SQL as well. You need to know Power BI, Tableau. I mean, one of this, maybe all, depending on the company, because project to project. I have worked for the same company, Power BI also. Some client they need Tableau, some client they need ClickSense. For some team who only use Amazon AWS, they need Amazon Insight. So again, once you learn one, then you can kind of learn the second one in 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 days. It's super easy once you just know one tool very well. Okay. So business intelligence, as a business intelligence, basically you can say that you will be working as a all the role, more or less. Okay. Or maybe there is a data engineering tool, but also you need to build sometime data pipelines by yourself. You need to create automations which will get the data, clean the data, create a dashboard, send a mail to the managers, and then there would be issue and then you'll need to fix it. You will also jump to existing projects. You will try to improve process improvement. I think process improvement would be one of the you can say soft skill here, which you need to have it. Again, by working only you will have it, not by just without working, right? So this is about the five more, I would say, most demanding role. Anyone has any doubt, anything that you want to know here? So you can ask, or let's go to the next topic, which is which tools, how much you should learn. So anyone, any doubt, you can share in the chat. I've heard about terms like UltraX, Agile, Scrum Master in relation to data related fields. So Scrum Master is, I can say, dying, taken over by AI, and Agile is just a methodology. Okay, Agile is not any tools. Agile and Waterflow, these are two methodology which a company use. Okay, so Agile you can say is a changeable. Let's say there's a you got a project that you need to create a dashboard company. Dashboard you can say yeah, you can say dashboard company for Amazon. Okay, like same as Power BI. So you write all the requirement and then you give that to software engineer team. They develop it and you deliver to your stakeholder. Your job is done. Now that's called water flow. So that means it cannot be changed once you have given the requirement to the software engineering team. Now agile methodology is basically you have given that to the software engineering team, and then project is half finished. Then they come and then say, hey, we do not need this, we need something else, or we need this new features, right? So that's where middle of the projects it has to be flexible. The software engineering team, you and everyone. So now the companies, I would say mostly companies are preferring which is agile methodology instead of waterflow. So do some research about agile and waterflow if you are going for a business analyst. This is an interview question which is must, because I've gone through that. Okay, project management is also there. You can go for project management, but I have not included because you need more experience, right? For project management, if you have fed up with the, let's say, data analyst, business analyst, data engineer, and you have 10-year experience, go for project management, get a package of 50 LP in India, or maybe more than that. So you need really good experience, right, of working in so many projects. Freshers, project management, nobody is going to hire you, right? Because no company is going to give you a project where you do not have any idea. So I have not included it. This is something easy to get it. 1 to 3 year experience, you can easily jump into data engineering to show your passion, to show your project. By showing your passion and your project, you can jump as a data engineering. You can do some certifications in Azure or maybe AWS or maybe big data technologies like Databricks, okay, Snowflakes, and maybe some SQL Python projects. You can start as a junior data engineering, and the data analyst obviously you can start as a fresher as experience, and then business analyst you need some experience of this too. And again, Power BI developer we talked about, business intelligence we talked about. All of this you have a 10-year experience. Okay, now you are bored with this all of this, then you go to kind of PM. You apply at Google. You have a really good experience. You get a project managers, and you can really get a good role. Yes, I have not included data scientists. This is a point I think I was looking for. So I have not included. So there is a reason. So the reason is that this is the reason. Okay, I will just write it. You already know. Okay, because data scientists they build models that predict number. Okay, or maybe that predict the data. Okay, now I believe not only I but the whole industry they believe that data scientists will be replaced by AI, and I think this is true because agentic, if you have heard about agentic workflow, so you can train somebody, right? So what data scientist does, let's say you give them a data, let's say you tell them that, hey, this is a data of, let's say there's a state called UP. Okay, now again, if you are from UP, so just never mind. There's a state called UP, and this is a all Indian sales data of Amazon, and we have noticed maximum fraud are happening from this state. Okay, so they would research, they would kind of go through and build up models, and the model will say that okay, you just tell me one sales data, I will tell you if it's going to be fraud, or I mean the chance of fraud is going to be there or not. So they will train this model based on this data, whole data, not only just UP, but the model will see okay, maximum people are from UP and they are like not returning the product correctly. So you tell a sale, hey, we got a sale that is from UP. The model will tell and check some parameters. It will take there is a chance that this will be fraud. Okay, so how? Because the model is trained based on the data. So all these things you can somehow replace. So I think because of this reason, I have not included data scientists. And for also data scientists, you need experience. It's very, I would not say it's very easy to get into data scientists. You need a lot of experience to get as a data analyst. Maybe you can easily enter into this all this role without having experience as well. As a fresher also you can directly enter, but for data scientists you would need mostly experience of 1 to 3 years. If you work as a data analyst, you learn some machine learning models like maybe computer visions and maybe KNN or something else. You can apply for data scientists if you like building models. Okay, but again, you need to kind of keep in mind that there is a chance of getting replaced by AI. I mean, not very soon, but maybe, we do not know, right? So I have not included that. If you have interest in that, again, I think for that you just need to research it, but corely you will be using these tools, and only there are more and more library that will be added in Python, which is called as skitlearn. And I think what is it? So there are, yeah, scikit-learn. Sorry, it's called scikit-learn, and um, classification and regularizations, hypertuning. So all those things you need to learn in machine learning. So again, if you have interest, you can go for it, and you can start as a data analyst. So let's go and let's see the next one, which is which tool to learn and how much to learn. So I think it's we have 20 minutes. Let's utilize it to see which are the tools you should learn and how much you should learn. Okay, and after how much you can apply for a job. So let's see some comments. The train machine. Yes, that's correct. The train machine, now the machine will train machine because they are training machine. Now you will tell a machine, hey, from tomorrow, you will be getting the data in a folders, like in a folders. Okay. And you will be getting as a kind of requirement in a doc. Okay. So what is your job? Your job is to kind of read the requirement, and then you kind of create a objective and create an action plan, then kind of do the task, and then kind of create the result, and then share it with the manager M1. Okay, everything would be mentioned, don't worry, everything would be mentioned in the requirement page, and you have the data in these folders. So don't you think a AI model, AI agent can do this? Now it's doing by a data scientist, which is here. And I believe, I mean, I can create a agentic model, agentic workflow. I have done it, but again, anyone can create it by just going through, which is called N8. There's a website called N8. There are, you can create a free, agent. Okay. So now if you just remove it, because he usually read it and then he build the model by itself. Now we are going to just teach that the how he read to this AI. Okay. So next day you schedule it for 8 a.m. and it kind of read the requirement, go through the data and try to build everything, and then kind of find the results and give it to managers, and manager kind of send an email, hey, it seems like accuracy is 88%. We need at least 90%. Then it does the hyper tuning, and then kind of again send the report to the managers, hey, now we have a 91% accuracy. Manager say, yeah, it's good. Or maybe manager will say, hey, we need some more things. Again, you would run some more code. So again, all these things are possibly, I would not say very soon, but it's possible that using AI you can do it. But for a data engineer or for a data analyst, I see that I don't think in next 20 years anyone is going to replace it, because in data engineer there are a lot of different things. It's not just the one thing that you will just build a model, right? Sometimes you need to talk manually with the manager. You need to talk maybe something stakeholders. You need to understand what actually they're looking for. Not every time you create a dashboard. Sometimes you just run a one SQL query, right? So there is a human interactions which is needed for data analyst. Same with the data engineer. There are so many things. It's not just the created data pipelines. So sometimes you need to talk with the people, in a call, and then you need to understand like what are the table they need, what are the data types. Then you need to choose which are the services to choose. Like, is it like you're going to go with the AWS, you're going to go with GCP, you're going to go with maybe Azure, right? Then you say, okay, we will go with the GCP. Then you need to see, okay, what is the billing? You need to tell the estimate billing to the a manager, hey, we go with the GCP, this is the bill. Then they say, no, we want to go with the AWS. Then you tell the bill. So then you create the data warehousing plan, then you kind of execute it, then, goes on and on. So here I feel AI to take it over for data engineering, again, that's going to take ages because, right? If you have gone through something in the chat GPT, you know how many times, sometimes you get fed up, but you don't get the actual outcome, what you're looking for. So anyways, I'll not go into that deep in that. So let's focus on the topic, which is called, which tools to learn and how much to learn. There are so many tools, right? So again, you cannot learn everything at the starting. So let's focus on just the core tools so that you can get a job in any of the domain. And then you can learn more and more tools, right? So again, I have created a dedicated, you can say, page where I will be sharing a slide. Okay, so we have R, it's time, so you don't have to learn it. 99% company is not using it. Okay, so we have Tableau. Yes, companies are using it now, rare in India, but yes, in abroad, because the company who use Mac, they don't have options to use, you can say, Power BI. So they kind of have to use Tableau. Okay, but they also have Amazon Insight or something else like maybe SAS, Bio or something. So again, we have Python, which is you need to learn it, not mandatory, but you need to learn it as long as you learn more and more tools, upskill yourself. Excel is mandatory. Okay, then Power BI is mandatory for any roles you have already seen. SAS is just for banking, not mandatory, I would say. Okay, we have what else? Spark is for data engineering, mandatory. You also need to learn Hadoop here. I think I have not mentioned it here. And all these are the kind of, you can say, the data engineering tool. I've not used this. I'm not sure what is it. But anyways, let's go ahead and see the next slide, which is what should you learn in Excel so that you can call yourself as an advanced Excel user. Okay, if you know this, whatever I have it here, you can call yourself advanced Excel user. All you just need to do is that do 2 to 3 projects so that you get that hands-on, right? Then you can tell that, hey, I have been using Excel from last 5 years. So first you learn these tools, these modules, and then you do 1 or 2 projects. You use all of this, and then you can call yourself as an advanced Excel user. Any company that mentioned that, hey, we are looking for somebody who knows SQL and Excel. If you know all this thing, you are qualified for the Excel. Now, maybe they would not ask everything, but they will just ask you how to remove duplicates, how to apply data validation. I have not mentioned it here. Yeah, I think I mentioned it here. Data validations technique, how to maybe trim, not trim, I would say, how to substitute string. What is this text functions? See, again, not everyone, but one of or 2 or 3 of this. Okay, one question is definitely you will have it from here, which is called lookup functions. So VLOOKUP is not anymore useful that much. So index match is very, very useful. It's high performance as well. It's super fast, and XLOOKUP as well. You need to know VLOOKUP as well, by the way, but maybe company will not ask. But if there is a manager which is really old, so he's going to definitely ask VLOOKUP. So make sure to know all of this. If error is we implement whenever you are kind of creating array or maybe running some functions and you want to deal with the errors. If error, so you want to kind of write some message or maybe numbers or maybe 0. So it's kind of same as like we have something called I would say null if. Okay, is number is going to check if the data in that cell is the number. Not that much useful, but yeah, you just need to learn it. That's it. You will learn it if you just do 2 or 3 practice in like 5 minutes. Is blank it just check if the cell is blank. So these are some modules. If you want to learn it within 5 minutes, you can learn this one as well, is blank. It just check if the cell is blank, it'll just give you a true. So we have here next, which is called sum if, sorry, sum average. These are, you already know, right? And we have count if and count ifs. Very, very, very important. Definitely ask in the interview, and definitely you're going to get 1 or 2 problems using count if. Sometime maximum the problem that you will be getting only XLOOKUP and count if, that's it. Maybe and remove duplicates with 3 things only in some interview. Okay. Sum if same as count if, it just does the sum based on the conditions. Sum if is based on 2 or more conditions. Average if is based on 2 or more conditions, it does the average. So all these are pretty much same, these 2 things. And definitely you are going to get a questions either from here, 1 questions and 1 question from this lookup. One is going to be remove duplicates or this which is called data validations technique. Not from here, maybe sometime, but not from here. Next one is the important one, which is called if. We also have the same in Python called if else. We also have the same in SQL, which is called case when. Okay, so this is super, super important. You need to know it. Once you know it in one, it's going to be very easy for you to know in another tools like in Python and SQL, because just syntax is going to be different, logic is going to be very same. So what does it mean? Let's say you have a data. You want to say that if the data is from, let's say the data is from, let's say UP, you want to call it maybe 1. So yes, you can use the if logic. So again, we have an or and not. This is just, you can say, operator which will combine more than 1 conditions together. So, okay. We have switch, which is a part of, you can say, PowerBI. Again, this check multiple conditions, same as like if else. And we also have choose, which will basically choose out of some given numbers. So just try to practice these 2 things. Okay. Let's go ahead and see the next one, which is a part of date time. Very important in Python, very important in SQL, very important in any skills, maybe Tableau, maybe Power BI. Date time function you need to know. So today is going to get you the today date from the system, and now is going to get the now time from the system. Date diff is going to, you will be using it if in case you want to find out the date difference between 2 date. We have a text function which will convert a date into a day name or week name or month, or you can say year. We have EO and workday is going to kind of find out the workday, days different between 2 date, removing the holiday, okay, or maybe the weekend. Pivot table, very important for creating a chart in, or you can say data visualizations or report in Excel. Without this, you cannot create a report. So you only one have, which is pivot. You need to master it. Very easy. You just select a column and then you drag it and you create a pivot table. Slicer is same as like filter, that you option that you give it to end users. Okay. Grouping, it's new functions which is we have now in Excels, which is called group by. We have in SQL and we have in pandas, which is called group by. Filtering, again same, calculated fields, which is kind of, you can say, special functions which you can enter to kind of do some calculations. Let's say you want to calculate the interest, you want to calculate the discount percentage, you can enter your custom functions other than the sum average count, or you can combine them together and you can create your own functions, which is going to kind of do some calculations and give you the result. Let's say you want to kind of know out that, okay, out of 750, you want to know that what is going to be kind of, let's say 22.1% plus, let's say going to be 55%. So you can just use a calculated field, build your logic accordingly. So it's going to give you the result. Now we have timelines, which is part of the pivot table dashboard. When you create a dashboard, you can create a timeline. It's going to give you a date, year range. So somebody can filter the data by the year, which I have given you earlier in a Power BI project, which when I was demonstrating to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and see the next thing, which is going to be dashboard and reporting. So we have a conditional formatting. I think I have already mentioned it here, which is this conditional formatting. So here you learn like based on the condition, how you format a cell. Very important when you are creating a dashboard or reports. It's very easy to highlight and it kind of create a really nice impressions. Very easy to read the report if somebody has used conditional formatting. We have a drop down list, which is part of data validations. You can create a drop down list. I'm sure you already know it. create a buttons, which is part of again the not data validations, but you can create it from by going into data in Excel. Is part of kind of macro. I've not mentioned macro here, not that much important, but if you want to learn a little bit basic macro, you can learn in one day. Okay. How do you create interactive chart? Basically, connect this chart with the slicers, and then that's how it get interactive. So all this chart must be dependent on the pivot table, not on the actual data. So this is how it become interactive. We do also have Power Query, which is same up like automation tool inside the Excel, which get the data from the server, which transform the data, and then it create the dashboard. So just learn the basics of Power BI, Power Query. It will be useful in the Power BI as well. We have Power Pivot, which is similar, only available for Windows and not for Mac. So let's see now what are the things you should learn in Power BI. Okay, now if you see in Power BI, you get the data from a different domain. Some data are coming from our database, some are coming from maybe website, some are coming from something another browsers or maybe a public API, or some data are coming from Excel, some data are coming from other SQL database. Then you combine using Power Query here in the Power BI, which is you can also call it ETL. Okay, same as like data engineer does. Fancy term, which is called extract, transform, load. So you extract the data, you transform the data, create a new columns, and then you load the data into data model, which is called data model. So what is data model? Data model is basically where you define each table and their relationship. So you can define a relationship like this. It's called a star schema, and this is called data model. Sorry, it's going to be like this, but you can just ignore this one. Okay. So this is the data model, and from the data model, you create a dashboard. While creating a dashboard, you need to write DAX, which is called data analysis expression, same as like Excel function. Okay. Now, this is about the dashboard. Then once you create a dashboard, obviously you need to host it somewhere. Either you will be hosting in your directly virtual machine, somebody just mentioned earlier, or maybe in your cloud computing, or maybe in your local computer, or you can use a app Power BI services, which is called app.powerbi pbservices.com. That means it's a cloud services provided by Microsoft at very you can say $10. Okay, 10 USD. The company which are you can say startup, they don't have much cloud technologies and things. They can use this, which is called app.powerbiservices.com. So let's go ahead and see next one, which will be like what are the things you should be now learning in Power BI. Okay, now again, I have not added everything. I have tried to just edit the core things. That means if you know this, you can call yourself that you are a Power BI developer of experience of 2 to 3 years. Okay. Now again, you need to do at least a few projects. You can at least do 3 to 5 projects. I already have 3 projects in my YouTube channel. Try to do this. There are so many other Power BI projects. So you can do some advanced Power BI project where you get data from 10 places and clean the data and all these things that I have explained in the previous slides. So all these things are there covered in our YouTube channel. So here, let's talk about what are the things you need to know. You need to know how to remove duplicates. You need to know how to split columns and create different columns. How to do group by, how to do merge, like join two data stack one by like this. You have one sales data and you join another sales data here. This is called merge. Okay, excuse me. Then we have, give me one second. Then we have sorry, it's called append. Merge in my bad. Merge in is like this. Same as like SQL join, and this is called union in SQL, which will come in some time. And this is called join. Okay. Join in same as like join. You based on the common column, you just do the join. Okay. So then you need to learn the other things, which is called applied step query folding. Can learn it's interview questions, data profiling, which is like quality checking of the data. Then we have a star schema concept, which I've just shown you earlier. Again, you can learn it one-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationship. You can learn fact and dimension tables. DAX you can learn. These are the important DAX. If, which is same as like if conditions earlier we talked about in Excels. Then we have switch. Then we have related. You need to must learn it to use any functions like sum, average. Then you have a calculated filters, time intelligence. You need to learn these things, all these three, very, very important. Then we have data visualizations again. It's just a chart. So bar, pie, map chart as well, tree map. So all these things you can learn. If you create one or two projects, you would by default learn it. KPI card, I think I have not mentioned it. Yeah, this is the card. Drill through tool tips. I have already shown you in my Power BI projects, bookmarks, and you need to learn it. It's covered in the projects mostly. Yeah, import mode, direct mode. Yes, these are interview questions. Okay. Then we have publishing, and this is the part of Power BI services. Okay, you can say PS, Power BI services. You need to learn how to schedule refresh, how to do RLS. That means only the people who have access they get the read and how to do this data refresh, or you can say schedule refresh. Okay, so this is going to be for the Power BI. Now I already have mentioned the detailed thing, so all you just need to go through this. You will be getting a clean PPT and one PPT with this writing all this thing. Okay, so you can go ahead and kind of go through that. So let's go ahead and see now the most favorite, which is how much SQL you should learn. Now I have seen people they're learning SQL from 5 years, they're still learning. Okay, and they still forget and they still learn. And the SQL is in the market from last 30 years. I was just checking one of the posts in LinkedIn. One of the manager who has mentioned that I have 30 years. I've been working from last 30 years in the industry, and still SQL. I use SQL. I heard that it'll replace by this, replaced by that, but SQL remains the same. So for all the data roles that I talked about, only one tool that is the most important, that is SQL. Now this is a must. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what are the things you should know, and you can call yourself as a SQL developer. Like you have experience of in SQL 3 to 5 years, not 3 to 5 years, I would say, but at least 2 to 3 years. Okay, so it's going to be the basic querying, which is select, where, order by, distinct, and limit. Then we have join, into know the cross join as well, how it works. Then union and union all, interview questions, self join, interview questions, left join, inner join, interview questions, full outer join, interview questions. Again, you need to know it, just not because of interview question, but you need to know it. Group by having must. Then we have aggregated function, which goes with the group by. Date transformations, which is again must. We have nullif as well to dealing with the missing values. Insert, and somebody told that he is getting confused with the DML. So insert, update, delete, merge. You first need to understand why you're doing it, right? Insert just to add data. If you just remember the syntax, you are not going to get confused, because it's same as like entering data in Excel in the next cell, next row. Updating, that means you're updating something. You just need to write few 5 times, then 10 times syntax, and you will never forget it. Just try to understand the logic. You're updating one cell data based on the another cell. Delete, that means you're just deleting the entire table, or maybe the one row, or maybe whatever you want to delete it. So once you learn the syntax, you never forget it. Merge is same as like union, where you stack the data like this, one data after another data. This is, let's say, 2020 cell. This is 2021 cell. Okay. Let's go and subquery. Very confusing. People get confused here. You just need to know the basic subquery. That's it. And you need to do CTE. Sometimes you can use subquery. Sometimes you can use a CTE nested query. Subquery is not that important, but I can just learn it again. I think I have covered multiple interview questions where I've used nested query. You can go through some of and try to solve it. Very important window functions. You just need to know row number, rank, dense rank, leg, and lead, how they use it, and also partition by. And this is a concept from data engineering as well. If you learn it here, it's going to be super easy for you. Order by and limit. I think I have not mentioned limit. So you can learn that. Once you have this, you are good to go. All you just need to know how this query optimization technique works. Now, for this, you don't have to exactly do it, but you just need to learn the theoretical part, because interviewer will definitely ask you, hey, what is this and what is that, right? Query performance, explain, analyze, plan. So just try to read this line and just try to go through ChatGPT and try to see the query performance technique. when to do left join, when to do right join, and you are good. So if you have this much of knowledge in SQL, then you can call yourself that as a SQL developer of 2 to 3 year experience. If you have some of this query performance technique, then you can call it 5 year experience. OK. But again, as I said, SQL is something when somebody is going to judge you by how you're solving the problem, not by the theoretical questions. So 20% theory here and 80% code that you will be writing. And that is only you will be getting this solid, you can say confidence when you will be solving problems. Before solving problems, try to do 4 to 5 projects. I have already done 10 projects in my YouTube channel. Go through one by one projects, try to do at least 5 projects, you will be good. And after, if you complete 5 projects, trust me, you will be master with all of this concept. OK. Let's go to the next, which will be, I think we're already running out of time, so I will just take 10 more minutes. OK. The last one, which is the Python. So in Python, again, it's optional. You don't have to learn everything, but just have fun and try to learn the basic things. So how to read file, how to read Excel file, head info. These are part of pandas. And I have not mentioned variable and string here. So I think I will just edit here, which is called variable. And you can say string. OK, I think string I have mentioned it. Variable is string functions you can learn. The first thing you will just create a variable. Maybe you'll be creating a call X and you'll be storing call Delhi. You maybe already know it. So if you print X, you'll be getting Delhi. Okay, this is called variable. OK, so let's go ahead and see the data cleaning technique, which is part of pandas. Here I have mentioned it. Datetime function is the same as SQL, same as Excel, same as Power BI. OK. So you see all things are similar. Once you learn one tool, it's super easy. So I have mentioned here some of the plotly, sorry, I think matplot. So matplot and Seaborn, it is mentioned here. I think I did not mention earlier, but yeah, I did edit it here. OK. So I think it was not mentioned in the the different role and this. So here I've added matplot, some of the things. Again, these are the core. I have not mentioned everything, but if you know it, by doing it, you would learn more things. So here you need to learn OS library. You need to learn SMTP to deal with the email and everything. You need to learn schedule to scheduling task. In OS, you will be learning file handling. And for this, I have a Python series, which is a 30-day series. You'll be learning everything here. OK, it's a completely free. So we'll talk about the free resources in next slide. And then scripting and scheduling. Some of the library I have mentioned, just go through it. Request for web scraping, beautiful soup for web scraping. Open Excel for opening Excel file. JSON, just try to see how to read JSON file. It's going to be really, really helpful. Let's go to the next slide, which will be, I think, our last slide, last to last slide. So only 2 or 3 things are left, which is the learning resources and the time management. OK. So in time management, if you're working professional, right? If you're working professional 9 to 5, so maybe 9 to 6 or 9 to 7. So try to spend 2 hours every day. OK, for 5 days. So in a week, you have 10 hours. OK, 10 hours is good for you to learn any skills. Give me 1 second. Okay. Right, sorry about that. So in the time management, OK, so even if you're spending 2 hours in 10 hours in a week, OK, I think you'll be in good shape. Remaining 2 days you can enjoy. Weekends you can enjoy, or if you are not spending 2 hours in 5 days, in weekend you can spend, let's say, cover it up. OK, so this is the principle I follow. Whenever I am kind of learning something, I mean, which is always I usually have in the weekend like the mentorship class and everything, or maybe workshop or something. But if I am having classes and everything, still I take out time at least for 1 to 2 hours for learning because I read a lot of books which is related to this domain on new technologies, tools, blogs, write blogs, you create videos and everything. You already know it, right? So here, all I want you to spend 2 hours. If you don't learn it, you cannot cope up. Today, I just had a sessions with one of the lady from USA. She has worked 10 years in Visa. Okay, Visa card, you know. So as a business analyst, she left job last 1 year back. Now not getting a new post. Why? Because she worked 10 years in a company which is a top tech company, I would say. But at that time she did not upskilled herself. Okay, so she was working as a BA, business analyst. So again, stable job, US, and maybe again, I would not say it's a really bad, but it's always better to keep on learning, right? So if you even some new tool technology is coming, it will be little bit difficult for starting that, but once you learn it, you will find it really good. How you spend is that try to take out your time and try to see how you can work out and at least try to spend 10 hours. If it is not possible, at least 5 hours. If you have if you're chilling on the weekdays, then try to spend 5 hours in weekend, like 3 hours in one day, right? There are a lot of times you must have it. You just need to plan it accordingly. In one weekend, let's say you are going for a trip, you don't have time. Next weekend you can do it, right? Or weekdays you can stress. Anyways, let's go and let's see the last slide, which will be the learning resources. Okay. So here, as promised, I have added all the free learning resources. And in SQL, you can learn the basic everything that I mentioned in the previous slide, which is the thing that you need to learn SQL basics to medium level or maybe advanced level as well. I have added two resources. There are multiple resources are there on the YouTube, but these are the personal two resources which I have also gone through. I would not say I've kind of, but I've reviewed their modules and reviewed their feedbacks, and I think they are the great mentors, much better than me, I would say, because I've not yet created SQL free content, right? I mean, not free content, but the full tutorials. I do have created interview questions, but I have not created that so far. Excels, I have added, this is one of the Excel video, which is 7 hours you will learn everything. Now, very good one, which you can consider, okay? Then Code Harry with Python, I'm just not going to give feedback on any other YouTuber. Okay, now if you find Code Harry, you can go for it, it's good. But I would suggest Bro Code, okay? You can go for Bro Code, he's the best. You also have my video, but it's going to be take you 30 hours. Okay, you can check the reviews, and if you find interesting, then you can also go for my video, not views, because views are very less, but the reviews are really good. Okay, just try to go through 1 or 2 videos reviews and see what people have mentioned. Okay, because all in my video I have worked on the real projects. I have not kind of just say I don't teach the topic. I try to show you the problem, then I show you how to use the tools or technologies to solve that. This is what I cover in my all of the workshop. If we do, I think have a few of the students here from my previous batch. I think 40%. You guys already know it, right? So let's go ahead and Power BI. Again, I have added a free resources, which is 7 hours. You'll be learning the basics to at a medium level, not advanced, I would say. But after this, you can do some projects. Yes, thanks. So after this, you can do some projects. So this Python series that I have created, it's one of, I would say, I would not say one of the best, but yeah, if you're starting out, it's one of the really good because you solve problems while at the same time you learn it. Okay. And it will take 30 days. Every day you spend 1 hour. That's it, not more than that. And you learn by solving a practical problems. So let's see here in Power BI, you will learn in 7 hours, you're going to learn everything, the basics to medium level. After that, you can do projects of mine and you will be learning everything. OK, you will be becoming pro. Spark, if you are targeting for data engineering, if you're already data analyst, so it's better to learn Spark or big data technologies so that you can apply for data engineering role. And you can say that in my existing company, I have used Spark. That's OK if you have learned it, right? Also for cloud, you can learn this. This is a 12-hour course. You would be, I would suggest everyone, whoever is kind of maybe you're a data analyst or you are freshers, it's better to have some idea about the cloud technologies, right? How things works. So 12 hours video, you can finish it in, let's say, in 24 hours. If you are spending 2 hours every day, within 10 to 12 days, you can finish it. If you're spending 3 hours, so within 1 week, you can finish it, because video is 12 hours, but the task when you will be doing, it will take 24 hours. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see the things which I have included. Okay, so all these books that you see, all these are the free books, but I have somehow get it for few of the books free, few of the books paid. This book I purchased it. It's called more than 2000. Okay, this I purchased it more than 2000 in the past. Okay, and this is also I purchased it. I think this also cost more. I think 3000 or maybe 2.5K. Okay, this I think got it for free. This I think I purchased it more than 2K. I am not sure, but I think yes. This one is free. I got it. This one I think I purchased it when I was preparing for my first, I think second role. Okay. Now I have as these are PDF. So for me, there is no loss, right? More people learn. I'll be more happy, right? So you can get all this book. Try to download it. It will be only available for 30 days. So every day you can spend 30 minutes for reading. Okay. And 1.5 hours for solving problem, writing code, going through YouTube video. Okay, so go through it. I have included all resources. I know you may have paid just 299 or maybe kind of 499 or maybe $10 depending from where you are booked it, right? But again, I've tried to include each and everything that is possible, because see, this is something I wanted to give maximum, right? Because it's not going to, I'm going to conduct one and more of this workshop. I don't think I will conduct one more in next at least 3 to 4 months, because my schedule is really busy. I'm working for a full-time course for Udemy and the Coursera, so I don't have time right now. But because I was getting so many queries and people are struggling to get a job, struggling to uh, face those deal with those 5 questions, 5 major problem which I have mentioned in the starting. So I thought instead of replying everyone and let's why don't I create a kind of quick webinar and I cover everything. Okay. Then I thought, okay, if I'm creating a webinar, why don't I just give all the books and everything? Okay, now if you just see my book sections, it's always, you will see it's the same book that I kind of have given to you. Okay, I think it's not there, but uh, you will see all these books I am continuously reading and again and again. So I'll just show it to you. So you will see that all these books. Okay, I finish it and start it again and again and again. Okay, so now this books, which is called 1000 questions, SQL interview question and answer. This is one of my book, which is my first book. If you want to get it, you can get it. So I'll be giving a 50% discount. So it'll cost you somewhere around, I think 600 to 700, or you can say $10. So you can get it if you want to practice more SQL realistic problems. Okay, because this book has 1200 page. All this book that you see, they will be somewhere around having like 400 to 500 pages. My book has 1200 pages and 1000 database. That means 1000 data set it has. So you can imagine how much time it took for me to kind of complete it. And yes, that's the reason I have not included that, because maybe few of you already have purchased it and maybe you are already solving it. It comes with a lot of things, digital book, PDF book and everything. Okay. So this is done for the free resources. Now, if in case you want to learn from me, you like the way I teach, and if you want to learn by solving a real problems, project-based course. So these are the paid course, or you can say workshop recordings, which I have added here. Now, all of this, I have added a 50% discount. You can use this code. This is only for the Indian student. For the international student, you cannot use the international card, so you can reach out to me here or Instagram. So I'll be giving a different link and the code. Just tell me which course you want to purchase, so you can get a 50% discount. Now, all the free resources, I have already included multiple different resources for you to learn. And here, if you want to learn from me, then I have created dedicated course for SQL, which is just 14 to 15 hours. Why it is interesting? I think you already have enrolled, few of you already know it. it has 4 projects. So you'll be creating 4 data models. You'll be creating 4 company projects. You'll be analyzing 4 companies' data. You'll be creating solving problems for all these companies, and from small to large, basics to advanced. So this is something, if you have some knowledge of basics, then you can start. Even if you have no knowledge, then you can still start. Okay, but before that, you can start go through the free video, which is 4 hours one, the in the free sections. Okay, then you can enroll for this one. It'll cost you somewhere around, I think it's priced at 1500 right now. It was 2500. I've reduced it to 1500, but after 50% discount, it'll cost you somewhere around $10, which is 750 rupees, which is INR for Indian student. Okay, let's go ahead on the next one, which is called Excel, which is how much stat is necessary. For stats, I have added I think the questions not that much necessary for for the data, all the role that I have mentioned, only for machine learning. But you can just learn the basic things. Go through 1 or 2 video on the YouTube. So in the interview, nobody is going to ask you for the statistic related maybe topic. Just get yourself familiar with the basic concept like standard divisions, mean, mode, median, all those basic things. Okay. Okay, next talk about the Power BI. So here again for Power BI, I have added this course, which is my, and you will work on 2 projects. One is called Costco, and which one I have shown you at the starting of the video. And one is called XScript, which is a special company data set will be working. Now in XScript, you will be kind of connecting the data pipelines like this. And not this, but where is it? In the Power BI sections we talked about, I've shown you a pictures. So it's going to be something like the same. Yeah, like this. The data will come from multiple places. You will be creating ETL pipeline, then you'll be creating a data model, then you'll be creating a dashboard, then you'll be working with the app services, and you'll be publishing the project. So you'll be working something like this in this Power BI course. It costs, I guess, 2,000. After discount, it'll cost you 1,000, which is 999. Next, which is the Python advanced 20 to 30 hour course. This can take up to 30 hour if you want to finish it. This is my recent bootcamp. Again, you can complete in your one time. So there are 10 projects which are there, which will be working with. It'll cost you somewhere around, I think, 1,500 after the discount. The cost of this is, I think, 2,500 right now. So it'll cost you 1,299 for Indian student. And for international student, you can reach out to me here or in the DM. And if in case you get an automated reply, try to send one more message because I don't read it. And when you send it one more message, then only I get a chance to read it. Okay, so I think this is going to be, and now to access all the resources, you would just need to kind of click this link, which I will also directly edit in the email. And all these resources, books, and everything is mentioned. Once you click on this link, it will redirect you to the drive, which will be valid for next 30 days. And you can download everything. Just for the resume, you don't have to download it. You just need to go here and just click on the file, make a copy. It's going to be downloaded automatically to your Google Drive. So don't download it. Use a Google Doc to edit it whenever you have a job. Free books, you can access it from here. All the books I have mentioned, I have added, I guess, not the Power BI one, but I will be adding the Azure data engineering one, but I think I will be adding that here. Okay, very soon. Then I have interview questions, which I have not talked about. So 100 Python most interview questions. So it's part of my free resources, which I have already included in my Instagram. So you can go through this before any interview. I have 50 Excel problems, which you can go through. I have 50 SQL problem, which you can go through. Statistics and other things are there in Instagram. Just go to Instagram and you'll be able to kind of find out that for statistic and and other skills like maybe Power BI. I'm not sure. I'll show you how you can get it. So if you go to Instagram and you can just click on this link tree, and here you will see call all resources. Where is it? Yeah, this is the all resources. And from here, you can click on this learn. No, sorry, not that one, but all resources, free resources. Okay, it's called free. No, not this one. What is it? Free learning resources, the last to last. Okay, it's going to redirect you to this Excel. Here you will also able to find virtual internship I talked about earlier, and you will also find this interview questions. which I have shown you earlier. Now, this is the virtual internship and free course, last minute interview topics, and SQL questions, stats questions, advanced Excel questions. So this keeps on adding. If somebody share me a questions, I add it here. So you'll be able to access it live. Okay. As soon as somebody gives an interview and they give you a question, I add it here. Okay, so I think that's where we end our today's call. I think it is 20-minute extra. I apologize for that. And because I think the break, it took some extra time. And I really appreciate everyone for staying till end. If you have not gone through it, go through the recording and follow each everything. And you can access the resources and everything, as I mentioned, for next 30 days. I appreciate if you share your valuable feedback suggestions regarding this. And yeah, obviously, next time, whenever I will have, maybe in the futures, maybe after 3 to 4 or 5 months, I would consider that suggestions, right? Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Is the resources available in your IG? Yeah, the free resources is available, but this resources, this PPT and all these files are only for the people who have enrolled, who have shown interest, who have paid their money, right? Not for everyone. Yeah, I just after this call, I'll be sending email in next 30 minutes. Okay, so you are going to get that in the email. Okay, I will. I'll just give you the link. Okay, give me a second. I'll just give a link to this, which is called this workshop in the group. Okay, so you can just copy paste it. Okay, and the people who are watching the recording, you are going to get a mail. Okay, all right. So thank you so much, everyone. Please start posting job. Yeah, definitely. I'll start very soon as soon as I get some free time. Do you have any recommendation for AI tools other than ChatGPT that can help with SQL query for beginners? I would not suggest AI tools. Go for the SQL mentor bot that I have created. Go to Discord community, and you have 400 plus questions which you can solve. If you're already there, you already know it. AI bot is just going to give you sales data. Trust me. You say, hey, I want a medium questions, you get a sales data. I want a hard questions, you get a sales data. Sales product. That's it. It's not going to give you realistic data. Yes, yeah. You can download it just by today. You don't have to wait for next 30 days, right? Because it's a one-time download. You download it, you never need that drive. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I think that's where we end today's call. And I really appreciate every one of you for spending this last 4 hours with me. And it's a Sunday, I know. And yeah, I think I'll see you very soon. Stay in touch. And obviously, if I see any opportunity, I am going to share that in the Instagram. And I will be very active very soon. Okay. Any other doubt, anyone else? Just write in the chat box. I'm reading it. Okay, perfect. So if you get any more doubt, I have the Instagram, so you can just send a message and I'll reply. Okay, there. So if I don't reply, just ping me once again. But just for next 1 to 2 days, not more than that. So if you're replying in next 1 or 2 days, then I'm going to reply. As a freshers, I don't understand what you mean by as a freshers. Let's see if you have given anything else. I don't see anything called Anil for you as a freshers. Okay. I would not say it's easy. If you have built some really good projects, yes, it's easy. But you need to really spend really good time. And yeah, you can spend good time, start as a data engineering, junior data engineering. Yes, it is possible. Not easy. Nothing is easy right now. Everything is difficult. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tranjit. I think I know you, and I think you have joined my Power BI as well. And I appreciate it for you to checking this time on this weekend. See you soon and keep learning, everyone. Take care. Can you become DA in data analyst? Yes, obviously, if you follow this, what I have mentioned here, you would definitely able to become a data analyst, right? All you just need to start applying and learn. Okay, then take care. Bye bye, everyone. I'll just drop me the doubt in the Instagram. Okay, take care. Bye bye. I will just share the recording in the email. Okay, in some time. Bye bye.